Welcome to another day of the ASL. We're in our final day of the round of 8. This time a taelen versus Zerg. And of course, joining me is none other than Eonzerg. What's up, man? You excited?
What's up, Nyoken? Another one.
Yep, and another one. And we've got JYJ facing off versus Soulkey. I know you've been talking about Soulkey, how strong his Zerg versus taelen is. You think he can take down JYJ? JYJ's been on fire this tournament.
No, honestly, I have no doubt today we're going to clean the ground with JYJ, advance to the semis, clean it, like probably having a good series against Hero and then winning the championship. That's how confident I am that Soulkey is the chosen one.
Okay, you heard it here first. Eonzerg's got Soulkey going the distance. He's got tough opponents remaining, though. Best in mind in the top side. Hero crushing Jaedong yesterday, and his Zerg versus Zerg looks top notch, but gotta get through JYJ first. JYJ's looked solid all season long too, already killed Queen. I think this is gonna be tough.
This is cool and all, but to me, when we compare the careers here, this guy, the mental strength from this guy is actually, this is probably the guy that made the most insane comeback in StarCraft 2 history against Innovation after being out 0-3. And in Brewer, he has won championships as well. He's like, I remember back then in Pro League, he was the only guy to really beat Flash with mind games. I mean, we're talking about a guy that, honestly, like JYJ need to actually, like, I don't know, man, like, you can't really compare this. It's a rookie against a superstar.
Okay, man, damn. I have JYJ doing very well versus Soulkey, so we'll see how this unfolds. I agree with what you said, though. Soulkey is absolutely bonkers. Zerg versus taelen. It's going to be tough for JYJ, but I think he can actually do it. I don't know if the score will be 3-2, but I don't think it's going to be 3-0. I can't see that happening. I think JYJ is too good for that, but, maybe you're right. Maybe Soulkey's just next level.
No, I mean, there is no question. The guy is this level. This guy Soulkey. I'm telling you, I never see something like this. But this is not a guy that he actually tilts in game. He turned off his webcam and just come back in the game, destroy the guy, and just like keep going like nothing.
All right. Well, we're getting some highlights here, so we'll check them out first. Those were some hype highlights, man. I love the JYJ bust on Queen that we saw earlier. Regardless of who wins Eonzerg, you know what I'm most excited for? Is in the top side, we have players that have never won ASL. And in the bottom side, we also have players that have never won ASL. So regardless of who actually wins this season, there's going to be a new champion.
Yeah, that is correct. That is actually pretty cool. It's been such a competitive ASL. The classic games being eliminated early on. I mean, this is one of the most competitive ASLs ever. It's true that there is no flash here, there is no rain, but still. Or maybe for that reason, this ASL is as close as ever.
Yeah, it's been really exciting, this ASL. We've had the return of, for example, Mind, who's been playing absolutely crazy. for the first time ever, I feel like Best has a really good shot of making it to the finals and then maybe taking it down. Also, Hero, as you mentioned yesterday, this guy's a killer in Zerg versus Zerg. He looked unstoppable there versus Jaedong yesterday. JYJ looks better than he's ever looked. Soulkey also. You know, I really do think that everybody's got a good shot to actually win. You know, I was actually thinking about some of the games yesterday. The Dark Origin game. You remember Jaedong versus Hero? We talked off stream. You remember when Hero just gave up his hatchery on Heartbreak Ridge? What do you think if Jaedong had just sat on his ramp and just held there instead of trying to save his hatch? Could he have transitioned out of it, kind of like what Hero did on Heartbreak?
I think so. I think so. But the difference is that Jaedong was forced to pull many drones to defend in that case. Well, actually, it's true that Hero also expanded. Hero actually expanded in that game. He didn't rush to lair or anything like that. He played a total different strat. So honestly, it's hard to tell right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I thought about yesterday because there were so many moments that kind of just blew my mind, like Hero sacking the hatchery, Jaedong winning that unwinnable fight outside of his natural. Just some crazy games. I'm gonna have to review it again, but they were very exciting for you out there that have not seen it. I highly suggest checking it out if you do like Zerg versus Zerg. I wish we could get some.
One thing I wanted to mention some funny trivia is that in the highlight I saw JYJ using the in-game console from BlizzCon 2017. Do you know that one? The blue one.
The blue one? Okay, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, it's cool because I don't see many pro gamers using cosmetics like that in game.
Yeah, I guess that is true. I've never really thought about it. But now that I am, yeah, I don't remember people using skins at all, really. At least not pros. You know what?
I think Larva did. I think Larva did use it.
Yes.
And he won the ASL.
Maybe is that the key to victory, Eonzerg? Whoever's got the skin wins?
I don't know, man. I just saw that detail and I was like, you know what? Maybe this guy actually is kind of different, you know?
You know what I found surprising was when people pointed out that I think it's Rain and Bisu use, you know, the minimized window or the very small window instead of full screen. I find that so strange that they're able to play so well on there because you got to be so accurate with your mouse. If you misclick even slightly, your unit's going to move way far forward, like compared to being on a full screen. You know what I mean?
I saw many in the ASL qualifier. That guy, I don't even know how he actually saw them. So, like, he played in such a tiny screen that I honestly don't know how he's able to watch the minimap or the dots or anything like that.
Yeah, I attempted it for like a week or so. I just couldn't do it. Like, the minimap was so small. It was so hard to click there. It was hard to even see stuff just in general. I was missing units, you know, like that you see for half a second. I was missing that. Like, I just couldn't see anything, but somehow they make it work. We're getting a look at how today's matches or maps are going to go. Vermeer was first. I forget exactly how it has gone now that the screen switched, but I do know that 76 is not there. And as far as the past few seasons, you can see that JYJ has done decently well. He's gotten top 8 two times in the round of 16. However, last season, bit unfortunate, getting knocked out in the round of 24, but he has redeemed himself already back into the round of 8 and looking to make it into the round of 4 for the first time.
Yeah. By the way, he actually picked Vermeer for the first map. I that actually is telling me he has a build prepared for the map.
Yeah, he very well might have one prepared. You're gonna have to have one prepared for Soulkey because, as I've mentioned in previous streams, there is an epic game of him versus Mong. I think last season, just absolutely incredible macro. really incredible. If you're going to go toe-to-toe versus him on something like Vermeer, where there's legitimately both players could have like 8 bases, you've got to have something special planned. You got to have really insane macro to keep up. We're getting a look at the top 5 Zerg versus Terran players, and Soulkey's in the top 5, so that tells you how strong his Zerg versus Terran is.
Yeah, incredible stats, to be honest. This guy, his ability to adapt in game situations. I remember exactly how Lai actually dominates him in the first game, and he adapted so well that the strat in the next games become totally useless.
Yeah, this guy is definitely a very clever Zerg, and he can adapt to any situation. He can play the low econ, he can play the big econ. You know, we've seen a mix-up of 2 hatch, 2.5 hatch, and 3 hatch from multiple players, not just Shine, for example, that I've seen play almost exclusively 3 hatch in previous seasons. We even saw players like Queen mix in 3 hatch. And I'm curious if we'll see some more 3 hatch play from Soulkey here, or if he'll go for what I think is, you know, the standard, which is 2 hatch or 2.5 hatch.
Yeah, we will see exactly what is prepared here for the series. I didn't see Soulkey streaming for a few days, so he's probably practicing off stream. Um, I'm really curious because like these guys, they consider actually the first map to be the most important to win, and in this case, JYJ pick Vermeer. That, in my opinion, is a good map for Soulkey. So I'm really curious what JYJ is bringing to the table.
Yeah, I agree. I also think this is a good map for Soulkey. There's just so much gas, so many bases, and because of how strong this guy's macro is, you know, I kind of would have liked Retro a little bit better. There's fewer bases. I think it's unlikely that Soulkey would take like a middle base, for example, as his third base if it was Retro, and the bases are a little farther. But, you know, you got to play what you've practiced, right? JYJ obviously has something planned on this map. You know, maybe he's going to pull a mind. Maybe he's going to BBS in the center. But we know that that did not work out very well for mine, so I don't know yet.
Nyoken, if he actually does BBS now, that will be so insane because that's the ultimate actually mind game.
Yeah, that would be. I wouldn't hate it. I gotta say, I would not hate it. It's a 4-player map. I'm trying to think, how many games did we actually see Zerg like scout the center? I don't think we've seen a single game where Zerg scouted the center, so it could be a clever opener. Looks like there's some type of issue going on, maybe keyboard not set up correctly. You can see there's somebody actually fixing one of the computers in the background, so game's not going to start just yet.
Yeah. No, I will not dislike some aggressive strat like that. But yeah, like in my mind, I thought like, yeah, maybe he will like elaborate more in a more difficult strategy, like maybe a factory first, or even like a Goliath build.
You know, it's funny. I was about to ask you. I know you've been playing a little bit more recently on the ladder. Have you ran into like factory builds these days? Is 111 a thing? Like, is there anything that you've noticed? New builds
enough,
recently?
I have run into few 111 builds. No, yeah, actually, yeah, it's becoming more common, especially in that map. It's hard to play this map better.
Okay. You know, I really like 111. I think that's actually the best build Terran has. I can't do it because I can't micro. I don't have 400 APM to do it either. But I think if you can pull it off, 111 is so powerful. That's just my opinion. We'll see if JYJ goes for that, because we've seen a couple 111 openers, but most of the time they've been on 76, and, you know, obviously Vermeer, completely different. But our players are ready, so let's get into game 1, which is going to be JYJ versus Soulkey on Vermeer. And in the top left, our Terran player, it is JYJ. And in the bottom left, our blue Zerg, it is Soulkey. I want to see that SCV get sent to the middleman. I want to see that 8 racks or BBS, and I want him to bring it to Soulkey.
Well, what is good for Soulkey here is that his Overlord is going straight to Terran base. And Nyoken, that kind of small detail at this level is really good.
Yeah, you've got to be on top of every little minor thing once you reach a certain level. Like if you're behind even just slightly, that can just turn into a massive deficit. For now, we don't see any actual movement in the Terran
look at the
main.
support for JYJ.
Yeah, some JYJ support right there, of course, and then the Iron Wall support, AK Soulkey, from the other viewers.
You know what, Nyoken, so far the game is being played very standard. No, nothing crazy, not even a wall outside like some Terrans likes to play.
Yeah, right now I'm not seeing anything unusual. We're just got the normal 12 or 11 hatch. Okay, now this could be unusual because most of the time Terrans do not wall unless they're having an intention of building a gas, and that looks to me like it's very likely we could see gas, and there it is. So Eonzerg, you may be right. This may be something like a Goliath opener or 1-1-1 opener.
Yeah, it looks to me like a Grace opponent, to be honest.
Yeah, I really do love gas openers if you can play them, and we'll see how this plays out. The cross scout coming in from JYJ. Interesting. I guess he's hoping that they're either horizontal or vertical, a close spawn for whatever reason. He is going to get lucky here and see that, hey, Soulkey is vertical, but at the same time, Soulkey will see that the command center is not going to be coming down at the natural, so he'll know pretty early on that this was a tech opener.
Yeah, Soulkey is about to find about this wall. I asked myself because he didn't have a very fast gas timing, so that means a layer is never going to match the Grace timing either. So he will be forced to make Hydras if Grace is the play.
Yeah, now we're approaching about, I think the command center comes down at around maybe like 310 or something, so still no command center. In the next few seconds, Soulkey's going to know that, hey, this had to be a tech opener. Right now, the Marine has pushed the Overlord a little bit far away. I still think he has range of seeing the Nat, though, so he does need to get down that sunken pretty soon. Otherwise, a single Vulture could ruin his day. Okay, factory command center. So it is not going to be starport, so there's no threat to the Overlords this time.
So far, very classic build. You know what? It's actually looking, or at least he does his not making. Oh no, never mind. Making starport. I thought he would like play mech, but no, he's doing a starport build. Maybe it's a Valkyrie build after all.
Yeah, it could just be delayed Wraith, could be Valkyrie like you said, but that's going to mean that he's only going to get a maximum of 1 Overlord. I don't know how that Marine has vision, but he did.
I don't know either. Like, is this map like the right version?
I'm not sure, but there is the Hydrogen like you were expecting. There's the Lair also, so I guess there is technically potential that it could be lurkers, but you know, that's...
Look at Soulkey, so sneaky with the Celis. He's about to scout. No, he's not going to scout anything.
Oh!
What?
Okay, you gotta, I guess JYJ was unaware that there's a gap there. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. He even had to send his Vulture back. Okay, well, guess he's not in trouble. But at least Soulkey does spot that, hey, this was not a rush Wraith. This was with a command center. So he doesn't have to build as many Hydras as in anticipation. Oh, Eonzerg, there's no Spire.
Soulkey actually prepared for this starport. Apparently, there is going to be a early Hydra aggression.
Yeah, I think this could be a good build. You pressure with speed hydras or range hydras, either one. There's not even a single bunker. I don't even think there's a single marine anymore. Vultures, as we know, they're okay versus hydras, but not the best. Wraith is going to come in and eliminate that overlord. Now, I'm thinking back to that Dark Origin game where somebody rushed speed like this, and again we have rush speed. He's going to run in this time and just sack the vultures to get some drone kills, though. But Zerg doesn't care, just going to instantly counter.
Yeah, but Nyoken, this rush distance, I feel like it's big enough that JYJ is going to be fine. Unless, of course, Soulkey run by with his hydras. That would be insane to do, to be honest.
Yeah, the good old 8 Hydra run by. I don't know if I've hit that on the ladder yet. Okay, I think with the 3rd Marine being loaded up into that bunker, that would be a little bit too risky. So I like how he did attempt to try and do some damage, but backed off ultimately. Now in JYJ's main, this is not going to be Valkyrie at all. It is actually going to be Science Vessel, so it is going to be the typical 1-1-1 that you think of.
Yeah. By the way, JYJ did some good at us with the vultures. Like he actually like he killed a bit of drones from Soulkey. Soulkey invested a lot of minerals into hydras as well. I'm a bit worried for Soulkey here. I'm starting to see JYJ making distance.
Yeah, I really do like JYJ's spot right now. Unless these mutas can get a lot of damage done, I feel like building those 8 or 9 hydras is really going to hurt Soulkey's econ, and it may be hard to recover at that point. He may just be forced to try and all in, try and like overwhelm the army 1 or 2 times, and then just go for a huge counterattack. We'll see though. Right now there's only, what was that? Was that literally just 3 mutas?
It's a super all-in. I don't know if the guy actually made lurkers, but there is like he makes Zerglings, 3 mutas, and the rest are hydras to attack.
Yeah, okay. SCV, that was a critical SCV scout. He does see that the hydras are coming also, so that should signal to him that this is a massive all-in. And there you go. It is with lurkers. There is 1 tank, but I'm not sure if he even has siege mode done. There's the vessel. The vessel is in a really, really safe spot. But if it dies, there's a real scenario where there may not be any detection at all, because I don't see Comstat anywhere. I don't see, okay, we do have a 2nd vessel coming. Good, a 2nd tank coming too. So far, JYJ is reading this, I would say, pretty perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if these are enough units to really kill JYJ here.
Oh, the Scourge. Oh, the irradiate doesn't go off. A lot of lurkers do burrow, but the 2 tanks, look how strong they are. One of them ends up surviving, does not get taken down. And this massive all-in from Soulkey, well, the bunker is going to die. Okay, the tank is going to die, but the bunker is still alive. But, okay, there is detection, so he's still able to hold this bunker. But he loses a ton of SCVs for this. Look at JYJ's supply now. It's just 33.
Yeah, Nyoken, but this is like very, very all-in from Soulkey, so like it's just doing damage here, I don't think it's an option. He needs to kill the Terran.
Alright, well, we'll see. Okay, range, or I guess the vessel just giving sight, kicking in right there. And he does eliminate another lurker, but he's not able to mine his main. Soulkey is still all-inning, though. He is taking a 3rd base behind it, so I guess technically he's not completely all-in. But he did a lot of damage. All of the SCVs died. Another tank being forced out.
I think I think Soulkey is in so much trouble. He invested a lot in that all-in. He was so close actually to kill the 2nd siege tank, but somehow that survived. And now, in my opinion, the future of Zerg is looking really bad.
Well, he's got a muta switch coming in. He eliminated all the turrets. JYJ's forced to rebuild those. I do think he did a good job with this attack, though, evening up the supply. I mean, he was really down in the gutter if he didn't do something like this. And he's not all in. Well, I mean, he is very committed, but at least he has that 3rd hatch at another base coming in. Scourge looking for the vessels. Good target firing there, not able to get any of them.
Yeah, he's still losing units, still losing Scourge and Zerglings. All this larva that is supposed to be invested in drones. And now there are 2 vessels. I don't even know if these mutas are good anymore.
Yeah, I think if those Lings had been drones, this would have been a much better situation, because now the Lings, they didn't really do much damage at all. They got maybe one vessel. That's it. Now we have like 8 mutas versus a Terran that has 2 irradiates available. Not sure how well this is going to play out. There's one of them. Good, really good split, but there's another one.
There is one more, and there are also Marines, so...
Oh.
But you know what? The CV count for JYJ is not looking too great either.
Yeah, also the Academy just finished, so there's no stem, there's no range. This Muta Switch is actually doing way more damage than I thought. He's opened up the mineral line. There's not even a single turret, really, in that mineral line other than the left side. Scourge gonna connect.
Oh, the vessel!
They lose another one, and that's another good split. There's still like 7 mutas left over. This could be the damage that Soulkey was looking for.
He even used the irradiant muta to kill Marines.
Damn, how is this happening? He's doing so much damage with these mutas. I thought that the double irradiate would be more than enough, but he's just getting crushed, and now Eonzerg supplies in favor of Zerg.
I agree with you. I thought with the vessels, that would be like enough to clear the mutas, but what is happening now is that Soulkey is splitting the mutas so well, and he's continuing the harassing that he's back in the game, I guess.
Yeah, Zerg with 3 base, 3 gas versus a Terran who's struggling to even mine their natural. Now, his mutas are extremely low. You can see he lost already about 2 or 3 of them to a single turret. So, he did take big losses that time, but I still think he's okay because Terran just doesn't have an econ. That's the standing army, 2 Marines and 2 tanks.
Yeah, something to note here is that vessel count is still high. This guy has 3 vessels.
Yeah, and look how afraid he is. He preemptively split those mutas because he thought a 3rd or 4th irradiate was going to be coming in. However, Zerg still is on just lair tech, just now getting their hive. So if there is, I would say maybe like 3 more cycles of Marines, maybe he could go for a counterattack. He would have upwards of about 12 to 15 Marine medic comboed with 2 tanks.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not too worried too much right now about the Marines cycles because there is only 2 barracks. But when the guy gets to 4 barracks, 5 barracks, and some tanks plus 4 vessels timing attack, then that's the scary part of playing against this.
Yeah, the critical part is keeping those vessels alive because that's really the lifeline of JYJ. If he can get off some critical irradiates before the mutas can split off like that, he could go for a solid counter. And you can see he is sharking around with that vessel that has the irradiate, and that did a lot of damage.
Here we go.
That's a ton of damage.
Here we go. I need to be careful. Those mutas are so loud now. Luckily for Soulkey, there are lurkers. But the bad news is there are so many vessels on Nyoken. This is the strength of the 111.
Yeah, indeed. There are definitely a ton of vessels. There's 5 right now. If JYJ was to send these 2 tanks, if we look at the standing army of Zerg, it's like 4 lurkers, 6 mutas, a handful of lings. I think this would be really hard to stop. Also, Terran has +1 weapon. So, JYJ, if he's going to go for a timing, I think you gotta go right now before Defiler comes in. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble because Zerg has a decent bank, also has Carapace coming in. But that vessel count, man, it is already, is this 5 or 6 now? Still 5, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit more positive than you when it comes to the Defiler now because of the amount of vessels. He can irradiate so much, Nyoken. This is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, he can literally irradiate every single lurker right now. He scanned, I'm not sure if he saw the Defiler mount at the natural, but when you see that the Defiler mount's in being built, it's definitely go time. Now, I love the lurkers on the right side. That's going to be a hard to find position for them unless the lurkers... Okay, got him out of siege and before any of the radiants could get down. Oh, that's perfect. That is actually perfect from Soulkey right there. Eliminates all of the tanks.
Yeah, actually he stopped the attack easier than what I expected, but the vessel count is still very high.
Yeah, the vessel count did not get reset. He does lose one of them, so there is still the threat of the vessel, but the threat of being busted, I think, is quite low now, unless there are more tanks coming in. If there's more tanks, then sure, but I think Soulkey has bought time for the Defiler. However, like you said, the vessel count is still crazy. Like, he's still going to take a lot of losses.
Like JYJ want to attack from a different direction here, trying to find an opening. Man, so many, but he can reduce so much. But look at this defense from Soulkey. Honestly, he's doing wonders.
Oh yeah, and that Scourge does not connect. There's no Dark Swarm, so he could still trade very well here. Hydra's trying to focus down those Science Vessels. Again, the tank is too far forward. It is going to get picked off, and that vessel is going to get picked off. So far, both players trading blow for blow. We know JYJ has recovered his econ because I saw 5 racks in his main, but I don't see a third command center yet.
No, and the filer is out, Nyoken, so this actually is going to save a little more time for Soulkey here. What I don't see is a 4 expansion, and right now the composition from the third play is very expensive in gas.
Yeah, super expensive in gas. The vessel count is still high, but this is so hard to micro against it, especially once Plague comes in. So JYJ is going to be very careful with his movement. If he eats one Plague, he's going to be in trouble. And again, repositioning those lurkers on the high ground. Ooh, can it be hold position? Oh, just barely. I saw a scan bottom right. So JYJ knows that he's kept Zerg on 3 bases for now. So he should be feeling pretty good about that. Oh, you can't lose these Marines. Cannot do that. Terran is so much stronger when they can have 3 groups of Marine Medic compared to just 2. And in the main of JYJ, I'm not sure if that's a 6 barracks or if that's another command center. And we do actually have a 4th base at the close by 3rd.
By the way, Nyoken, I don't know how Soulkey is doing it, but I was expecting JYJ to irradiate way more than what he's doing right now.
Yeah, it's tough because you got to be so careful versus the Hydras and Lurkers. The Lurkers just do so much damage, and the Hydras, if the vessels are ever out of position, they get plagued. You know, they can die pretty quickly. It's a really tough comp to face, but like you said, it is very gas intensive. I think JYJ's done a really good job to keep 4 out of the 5 vessels alive for so long. We've got flanking Marines.
And now you can feel like the Terran armies are actually accumulating. Yeah. And this is a very scary timing now for Soulkey, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Soulkey's still doing a good job to keep the Marines just stuck in the center of the map. Like these 12 Hydras or so, even with just 2 or 3 Lurkers and 1 Defiler, have kept them in the center. And the 4th base is up, but like you said, it's forward. And that 3rd base doesn't have that many drones. So, not that big of an econ for Soulkey. Firebat's mixed in, but there's just a little bit too many Hydra Lurker right now. JYJ looks like he may be going for a counterattack through the center of the map. Ooh, can he get the... He got it, just barely.
Oh my god, Nyoken. I don't see that the fight is going to reach that natural.
Nope, he does not, and that is critical for JYJ. Now he can actually go for a counter and not be too worried about a counterattack.
But you know what? That can be a sandwich now for Soulkey if he's coming from 2 sides.
Yeah, but look at those upgrades, 2-2. However, you know what doesn't care about upgrades? That right there, the ketchup coming in, does not care about 2-2 armor upgrades, and that is going to be the sandwich of the year, as Zero would have said in the BSL, and this entire army gets absolutely obliterated.
Wow, that was a nice clean. And now Soulkey on 4 bases, we Plague out. I'm starting to see a good picture for him.
Yeah, there's just not enough high-tech units for Terran. Terran does have a lot of vessels, that's true, but there's almost no tanks. The single tank falls. Marine Medic, they're heavily upgraded, but I don't know how you engage into Plague. But JYJ does have his 3rd base up and running, so he's definitely not out of it. 4th base up and running for Soulkey, though. Not a lot of drones there, though, so that's not really fully kicking in just yet.
Yeah, it's true there's a new base for JYJ, but in my opinion, his main, he can't have that many minerals left, to be honest. So I don't know. I feel like Soulkey right now is in a really good spot.
Yeah, if JYJ was able to irradiate, you know, maybe half of those Lurkers right there, I still think JYJ's would have been in a decent spot, but he didn't get off almost any irradiates. Okay, he's got 2 idle vessels, really needs to sync that up, but He's still got a supply lead, about 25 right now, but he's got to get this Defiler. It all comes down to this. And he gets it. Okay, so this push, again, is going to be stuck here. Not going to be able to breach the third base.
Yeah. Have you been looking at the grades? 2 and 2 for Terran. I don't know about Zero. I think I saw a +1 carapace or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 1-1 for Zerg. A lot of times Zerg does get upgrades with their Hydras too. Yep, there's the 1 carapace. Not sure if there's actually damage upgrades on the Lurkers or Hydras just yet. Another Defiler falls, another Lurker falls, and another dodged Plague.
Yeah, but so far, you know what? I think JYJ is holding well. Like, if he just keep irradiating, because the vessel count, man, is so high. I think he can do well.
Yeah, it's something like 8 now, and that's when it just starts to get ridiculous, where the irradiates just are never ending. Now, you can't lose that. That's a key building. That's like your entire gas bank, or that's what you need to spend your gas. So he loses his science facility. He instantly rebuilds another one, but he does irradiate 7 lurkers for that science facility. So that, I would say that's pretty worth. There's the +1 weapon for the Hydras.
Oh, you know what, Nyoken? He actually used most of the vessel energy. So now there is a timing for Soulkey.
Yeah, there is, but he's got so many, and he's just so ridiculous catching these Defilers over and over. There's not many Firebats mixed in, so a single Lurker does get into position, and he does lose 2 vessels, so finally, Soulkey striking back a little bit. Did he not rebuild the science facility? I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it either, Nyoken, but Soulkey, he doesn't have any lurkers now.
Yeah, there's no lurkers, and here comes the Marine and Medics. There's no Plague. Oh, luckily the Defiler gets away with his life.
Yeah, that army was so well split as well. I feel like JYJ honestly is doing a terrific job with this vessel and army movement. Like, even if he wasn't able to irradiate too much in the early game, like now he's finding holes all over the place.
Yeah, he's gotten a ton of value out of these for sure. And we do finally, can he get both? If he can get both vessels, this could be, or both Defilers, I mean, that could be amazing, because he may actually breach the 4th base, but he loses a ton for that. His vessel count is now down to 3, I think, from 10. But the 4th base does die, and as he's pointed out, there's not that many lurkers. Just now, 2 of them burrowing, and he will clean up the army, but he did lose his 4th base.
Yeah, and this is so dangerous now for Soulkey, because the gas is just not there for him anymore.
Yeah, not a lot of gas, but also the vessel count not that high anymore. It's 4 with no energy. This Defiler is basically untouchable right now because of this Hydra line plus lurkers dealing with the tanks. Okay, JYJ's just gonna avoid it on the right side potentially.
Soulkey going for it. I feel like it's now or never for him, to be honest.
He's got.
We can deal with these siege tanks.
Yeah, he needed to focus down that Defiler. Now the lurkers are in range of the tanks, so they're gonna have to re-siege. The Marines are really stuck in an awkward spot. Like, he can't counter, because if he counters, the Hydra lurkers instantly engage the tanks. Oh, so difficult. There's also no medics in that army anymore.
There are no medics, Nyoken. And Soulkey is ready point now all his hatcheries to this place. I feel like he wants to finish now. He's not even spending anymore.
Yes, Soulkey, this is actually kind of his last leg right here. He's not mining anymore in his main. His natural's got to be getting low in minerals. Also, 3rd base, remember, he didn't have that many drones to begin with. And I'm looking at his... Okay, there's actually a drone transfer just now. But if JYJ can just hold on a little bit longer, he may be able to take this game just by simply starving out Soulkey.
Yeah, what Soulkey did well is that the Swarm denying now the transfer for the units. But look at this, like, JYJ is irradiating every Defiler, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was irradiating every single Defiler, but he's not able to catch that one critical that's coming in right now. But there's not many lurkers left. Can he catch it? It's right there. Lurkers unburrow. He does get the Defiler, but the lurker does reposition. In the third base, another Dark Swarm coming down. Lurker's getting closer and closer. They get on top of all 3 tanks.
He's so close, but if he loses these siege tanks, I feel like Soulkey has an opportunity here to really, like, take down JYJ.
This is so crazy, the plays in Dark Swarm. Like, look at him. There's no escape. Where do you go? To the top side and run into lurkers at your third base? Go through the center, you run into lurkers. At the bottom side, there's also lurkers. It looks like just barely Soulkey may be able to bust this third, but this tank on the high ground, what a hero. There's still 6 tanks with a lot of 6 vessels with a decent amount of irradiance.
No.
Oh, the lurkers! Not in Dark Swarm anymore.
Okay. I think JYJ holds, by the way.
Yeah, this looks like he's going to hold simply because Soulkey just doesn't have any gas anymore. Every time I look at his gas, sub 100, sometimes even sitting at around 50, he just can't build anything other than links. The irradiates on the defilers nonstop have been amazing. I don't see a single defiler anymore. There's one.
There is one actually, but I mean, look at this vessel count. It's just...
Damn, this was so impressive from both sides. The crisis management from JYJ, there's so many moments there, if I was him, seeing the Dark Swarm get positioned over and over, especially the last 4 that we saw where he couldn't even exit his base, I would feel like that would be the end, but not the case. He goes for a counter. The 4th base is going to die. Look at Soulkey's got his hand off his keyboard. He knows it's over.
Yeah, 36 supply Nyoken against 100. This is just too much.
Damn, that was amazing play from JYJ there. I really did like the use of the Dark Swarm with the Hydras and the Lurkers, constantly pushing, constantly cutting off the potential counterattacks. But in the end, I guess you were right. That vessel count that built up to 10 over time was just too deadly. It irradiated so many defilers throughout the game.
I really like how JYJ was able to surf under this chaos all over the place. And I mean, that's pretty much what made him win this game, to be honest.
Yeah, he was just a little bit better in the chaos. Like you said, I do wonder, you remember those few lings that Soulkey built in the beginning with the mutas? If even, he had built just 3 more drones, would he have been able to scale into the mid game enough to overcome JYJ's vessel count? Because the vessel count was obviously just ridiculous, but if you've got big econ, I think that's one way to counteract it. I mean, look at these vessels. They just consistently get the defilers. This was the moment I was worried, though, because there's 2 Dark Swarms here. Your third base is now cut off. Imagine if a Lurker runs into the mineral line. And then this was clutch. Getting the Dark Swarm at the bottom side. Now JYJ's just pinned in his base.
Yeah. If Soulkey actually in this position, he had a 4 expansion working, we will be watching a different game.
Yeah, for sure. And this tank. Well, I guess the tank with the vessel would have denied the Lurkers from coming in, so that was a smart move to not sack those 2 Lurkers. But yeah, we can see the worker counts where it's extremely low for Soulkey, just 32. Man, such a clutch.
Yeah, I think I think JYJ is playing really good. I think he, like I say, I'm glad he prepared a build for that map, because like I mentioned early on, that was like a really good map for Soulkey. So I was really curious why he actually picked that map.
Yeah, and it was also his map pick, and it's the first map, and we all know how important that is. So well done from JYJ. He's up 1-0 in the series. We're going into a break, and then we'll be back with game 2. Alrighty, we are back, and we just had an epic game in game 1. JYJ barely overcoming the Hydra Lurker Defiler push of Soulkey. Both players looking very strong, but it's now going to be Soulkey's map pick. Can't remember exactly what the second map is, but it was critical JYJ got a win there because that was his pick on Vermeer, and he's looking already pretty solid. And I like how he's gone for 1-1-1 as his first build, because now that makes him dangerous in the following sets.
Yeah, that was a great first map. I will say Soulkey, after being so behind, I think he made also like a great game. He was able to do so much damage with the mutas, even if there was 3 vessels. So taking that in mind, I'm still really confident for Soulkey. I think, but I will agree that JYJ is also playing a great game so far.
Yeah, when I saw so many SCVs die for JYJ, and then, we were talking about how he only has 2 barracks. He only had 2 barracks for 13 minutes or something crazy. I thought, wow, this is it. You're just never going to be able to overcome the difference in econ, because Soulkey already had a 3rd base, but Soulkey never really saturated it that well. And that could have been the downfall of him. I mean, literally, the issue for him was he literally ran out of gas at the end. I think he could have overcome if he had slightly better econ, slightly better gas. But curious what the second map is.
The second map, we know it, no?
Well, we saw it, but I can't remember what it is. Do you remember what map it was?
HBR, no?
Oh yeah, it is Heartbreak Ridge. That is true. So we do have Heartbreak Ridge coming in. And actually, I think we could see another 1-1-1 type of play. It got a lot of success. It kept Soulkey decently low econ, and I think it's a great build. You can wall off on Heartbreak Ridge. I think there's a high chance that we could see it a second time.
I think it would be a mistake for JYJ to do that, to be honest. Repeating builds like that against Soulkey, I feel like this is the most dangerous player to do such thing, in my opinion.
All right, well, we'll see. We're in game 2. Heartbreak Ridge, Soulkey versus JYJ. And in the mid left, up 1-0 in our series, it is JYJ. And in the mid right, looking to strike back in game 2, it's Soulkey.
This is map Soulkey pick as well, so... And by the way, I'm curious why he actually picked this map. Is this to get rid of him early on, or he actually he prepared a build order for this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He did open with Lurkers last game. That could have just been in response to the 1-1-1, but if you open Lurkers again, Terran does have to worry about that Black Temple. You can't just only bunker your front. That would be something to worry about as Terran. And also, if we thought about how Soulkey was playing last game, he was really denying a lot of counterattack pathways, and there's obviously a lot of counterattack pathways on Heartbreak Ridge, so I mean, maybe that's the case. So far, I don't see any unusual openers, just normal depot timing. I don't see an early pool, at least not just yet.
Yeah, funny enough, I thought JYJ will make a wall on this map, but he's not doing it. He's playing really different from what I expected, to be honest. He seems prepared for this.
Yeah, I was also expecting to see the wall. Okay, well, there's another way to wall. So this is pretty much identical to last game, a front wall. You could potentially wall your natural if you wanted, but maybe he's worried about...
Nyoken, did you see how Soulkey is scouting with the Overlord?
Oh yeah, I do just now notice that. He's like, no sir, I'm not getting BBS or 8 racks this game. I mean, look at bottom right. He's even scouting bottom right because maybe this guy's trying to proxy a factory.
And yeah, this is the next level of scouting. I'm surprised he didn't bring 3 drones and scout with 3 drones as well.
Could you imagine if JYJ actually had an SCV bottom right and he was just sitting there? I would love to have seen his face cam once it got scouted. If it was a ladder game and that happened to me, I'd be like, dude, are you map hacking? Like, why is this here? What am I ever doing with an SCV in this position? But, you know, that is a potential opener.
Oh!
He saw the factory.
Drone.
Oh, he didn't see the factory. Oh! Almost gets it.
No way.
So, I think technically that drone did not see the factory, but the barracks is so weirdly positioned that a lot of times just because of seeing the barracks, you can guess that this is tech. Now, can we have an interception here? Oh!
This is CB, man. He want to beef.
I know. I have not seen very many Terran players be able to do the moving shot like what Zerg players can do with the drone, but he almost made it work. The Lings do come in, and SCV...
By the way, Nyoken, this is looking like a expansion build again. It's pretty much the same build order, so maybe you are right that JYJ is going to do the 1-1-1 again.
Yeah, you know, I know a lot of Terran players are struggling versus this Hydra Lurker play because of how strong the Hydras are. You know, you get plagued one time, all of a sudden all your vessels die. But if you can just keep Zerg low econ with like an overwhelming amount of vessels, maybe that's the counter to it. You know, I personally think tanks are the counter, but last game the tanks really didn't do that much damage. It was really the vessels that did all the damage, and maybe that's the reason we're seeing again another 1-1-1 opener.
Well, this time I would like Soulkey to play less Hydras and at least make just minimum to deal with the Graves. Oh no, he's doing for this move.
He's jumping the Vulture, and he is going for Valkyrie play this time. Get in there. Get in there, and he gets it in the first try, and there's no Overlord to spot it, so this natural is going to be shut down. He may not kill that many drones, but he is definitely going to shut it down. And hello, there's a Vulture in my natural. Goodbye, one drone. Oh, if he can get two drones out of it. Oh, this is so painful. Oh, he's suiciding for it. One more shot.
That Vulture actually survived. That is crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe that the Vulture ended up not getting taken down. So not only does he get 2 drone kills, he also sees that this guy built. I think he saw at least 3 out of the 4 Hydras. So he knows that a round of Hydras were built, but he also spots there's no speed. So I think he doesn't necessarily have to worry about getting busted.
Yeah, I mean that Union Bay, I feel like it's out of timing, right?
Yeah, this could be dicey, but he does have a bunker. He does have a Goliath, actually. There's no starport, so even though I thought this was Valkyrie opener, I guess you gotta have a starport for that. So yeah, the Mutas may actually be able to rack up a lot of kills.
What is this build exactly? 1 factory Goliaths?
I think this is just like a hybrid opener where he spent a lot of resources, you know.
This is the bio Goliath build.
It looks like it could be, but here come those Mutas. There's already 3 Goliaths out. They don't have range. The Hydras poke in and see that, hey, there's no turret set up. So right now, 4 Mutas could rack up a lot of kills. No range is such a big deal for Terran. It makes it so hard to deal with the Mutas. You can see that the turrets are still struggling to get up. So a lot of SCVs end up falling. Okay, now it does complete, but he lost something like 7 SCVs. That was definitely really worth.
That was decent damage, but the Soulkey is still on 2 hatcheries.
Yeah, that is true. And at top right, I'm not sure if that's another Vulture or if that's an SCV or what, but yeah, this could be the hybrid Goliath Marine Medic build. We do only see 1 barracks for now. That's a lot of turrets being built.
By the way, Soulkey, because he went straight to the minerals, he didn't really see what the build order JYJ is doing.
Yeah, that is true. And also, he's not able to confirm the eBay +1 unless he jumps on these turrets.
No way! He actually killed these turrets?
Well, there's only 2 right there. There was no... Oh, wow, did he really miss the eBay just barely again? So, he still doesn't know that this is going to be a Marine Medic Goliath timing. And in his main, he is going for a 3rd hatch.
I mean, he made these Hydras. He can actually do some early Lurker transition, to be honest.
Yeah, Lurkers are really good versus plays like this because of how delayed the comsat is. We can see that the Academy is only halfway done, but these mutas need to confirm what this build is. Because if he builds Mass Hydra into Marine Medic, he's dead. Now he sees the eBay, but does he see it blinking is the question.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question, because if he didn't see it and he's not making lurkers, he's in so much trouble. Oh no, poor Raynor.
Yeah, I see that. He gets stuck. Hopefully multiple Marines don't pop out there, because obviously every Marine matters in this scenario. We do have... Looks like SCV count has been rebuilt pretty well. The natural seems to be well saturated. I don't see speed kicking in for the Hydras, so I would say that's a good sign for Soulkey fans, but you definitely don't want Hydras versus this. You want like Ling, Lurker, Muta, just to try and overwhelm it.
Yeah, I think at this point JYJ probably is smelling lurkers as well, because I mean, like these Hydras in the middle of the map like that without speed or range, what are we doing?
Well, I still see more Hydras being pumped out. Mutas are doing a good job to keep the push back. Goliaths still haven't moved out just yet. I also saw the Goliaths do have +1 armor. He still hasn't confirmed the barracks count. However, he does confirm that there are no factories built on the right side. And at that point, like, you know, I would assume that probably he can't fit all the factories on the left. So maybe now he has an idea that this could be Marine Medic. There's the first tank.
He's doing so much damage with these mutas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The build order from JYJ is far from perfect this time.
Yeah, losing the depot is also critical. So now he's supply blocked. Those are probably hold position lurkers. And because of how late he got his comsat, he may not waste a scan on this high ground. Oh my god, this could be it. Okay, smartly he turns around. Wow, these mutas are just ridiculous.
He's doing so much damage.
Yeah, like, he can't. Okay, he's just gonna go for it. I mean, at this point, he's got to make a decision. Does he save his main or does he counterattack? And right now, he's not doing either.
It's funny because if Soulkey wasn't attacking like this, he will lose his army to lurkers.
Yeah, look at that. He's sitting right on top of him. Alright, well, I guess JYJ's just... Well, I don't know, because that's actually a sizable amount of units that's not with the main army that's moving out right now. Maybe he's trying to go for an interception on the mutas, but the lurkers are moving into position outside of the natural, and he catches it. That's a lot of lings, though. Oh, is there anything in the bunker? Okay, there is. Tank sieges up, but he's pretty much insta-dies. Oh, but the lurkers and lings get into the natural, sit on top of the mineral line, maybe? Maybe not. We have another
lurkers in the main as well.
Yeah, another wild game. Lurkers on the high ground, the lurker in the main. Not being able to mine the natural anymore. There's no vessel either. Goliaths are going to be running in a line. Okay, that got cleaned up better than I thought. Oh, but he wasted two scans.
He wastes all the scans. I was going to mention that.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And now there's also a lurker in the main, and Soulkey is aware that there's a lurker, so he repositions that. This is so annoying to deal with.
Soulkey being so annoying in this game.
Well, I did see that the lings and lurkers did intercept on the bottom side of the map, so if JYJ was paying attention to that, he may be thinking that the top side is open, and it is. So that's an open counterattack pathway for him. And the muta count is still high. Those are stem marines with heavy upgrades, but this army is huge. However, an instant counterattack from Soulkey. Lurkers. Okay, there's a bunker set up. There is a tank. This is so...
You know what? That army is actually quite big, Nyoken. I don't know if there is enough power to kill Soulkey, but I know that mutas can deal with that.
Yeah, definitely can't deal with that. And actually, I love how Soulkey acted like he was going to counterattack, and now he's actually repositioning everything so for a big sandwich again. And now we are on top of the natural. However, there is so many lurkers in the back. Only one tank, and he's giving up the high ground. He doesn't even have any vision of this. Oh, he's surrounded. Perfect.
I think that's it for this timing from JYJ.
Oh, yeah. He lost his entire army. It's basically for free. Like, I don't even know if he killed a single lurker there. And I didn't even realize that Soulkey's actually transitioned into Hive already. He's got his Defiler mount started. We see one vessel now. There's still only one factory, so the tank count can't be high either.
Yeah, but you know what? This is still dangerous. Like 3 siege tanks and not a Defiler. It's no joke.
Oh yeah, it's definitely dangerous. But the mutas are still alive. How are there still 11 mutas? He just instantly blows up one tank. Oh my gosh. I don't think he has a radiate. Oh, there it is.
Man, that split was so great.
I know. He split his mutas so well in the Vermeer series also. And these tanks, I hate when this happens. When the tanks are in the back. Like, why are you in the back, man? Get up there. And he loses another tank basically for free. The lurkers are, oh my god. Okay, I thought it was going to be hold position.
Oh, that vessel almost died. What about Grace Nyoken? Is Soulkey already with a +1?
I'm not sure if Soulkey has any upgrades, but I know Terran must be stuck on 1-1. I don't think Terran has 2-1. Oh, he saves that tank. Critical that that tank survives. Otherwise, there's no way of busting bottom right. Another tank moving in. Surprisingly, JYJ is not out of it, but Defiler is going to be coming in pretty soon, and we do have the Nidus. Oh god, those are big hits from those lurkers. Jeez, loses so many Marines.
It's not breaking this. There is no chance.
Yeah, I think the bio ball is just too small, and then also, especially with the Nidus, where he can just.
There's a Defiler. There's Swarm already.
Yeah.
It's consumed.
Yep. So that base is going to be saved, and JYJ, he is in trouble. He just now finished his second starport, so the vessel count is what, maybe 1 or 2. Tank count isn't that high either. I don't see a third base unless that's the command center building at bottom left. And look at this. He's avoided the entire army, and the Natural's about to get breached by Dark Swarm.
But the counterattack Nyoken can do that damage? I mean, the Terran... Oh no, he's coming back.
I think it can deal a lot of damage. It may not end the game, but it's going to at least shut down the Natural. And we were asking, does Zerg have upgrades? Well, those lurkers and lings, they have +2 armor, and the lurker getting into the mineral line, this is doomsday scenario for JYJ. This entire mineral line is dead.
I think this is Nyoken. This is the major losers, yeah. GG.
Yeah,
GG, honestly.
Yeah, that was a great game. I really did like JYJ's build order, but those mutas, man, those 10 mutas, they killed like 1,000 depots. I don't think they necessarily killed a ton of units, but they just found damage in the main, killing so many buildings over and over and over.
By the way, Nyoken, I think one of the big problems of this game is that JYJ turret timing was really off.
Yeah, he slightly missed it. Like, you called it. Like, it was maybe like 15 seconds too late. He lost 7 or so SCVs to the first muta engagement. And then
4 mutas. That was 4 mutas.
Yeah, 4 mutas. It was crazy how much damage that those mutas did.
I mean, we have a series, man. 1-1. It's looking good, honestly. Both players really playing good. In my opinion, this time JYJ made some tiny mistakes that actually made him pay way too much, because if you think about it, like Soulkey muta damage was out of control at some point.
Yeah, if he doesn't get that damage, like this attack that we're seeing right here, I don't think it's much large. I don't think this army is much bigger than it was like 2 minutes ago when those mutas were just dealing crippling amounts of damage. Like, imagine if this was at Zerg's base 2 minutes ago. I don't think that Soulkey would have been able to hold. Like, you can see how many drones he has. It's very few drones. So it was clutch usage of the mutas in this surround was absolutely amazing. Like, what did he lose? Like one muta and just lings? Like, that's it.
Yeah, that was so perfect for Soulkey in this situation. That was the best trade possible.
Yeah, and I'm excited for the build orders, man, because I'm a big fan of 111. Then I see this build come out. I'm getting like fantasy vibes. That's even the build that he used versus Jadon, years ago on Heartbreak Ridge. So he's pulling out all the stops, all the SK Telecom build orders, and we've got another standard map, and I'm wondering what's he gonna pull out next?
I don't know, it's Silphid, man. We could see Grace.
Yeah, we could see Race. Race are a pretty darn good counter to mutas if you can control them.
Yeah, if you get because I remember that if the serve play is in the bottom right base, then the natural is very exposed to Grace actually. There is not really like a way to defend that if the Terra micros well.
Yeah, and if we do see that, that could be a good counter to the mutas. But Soulkey, he's already shown that when he sees 111 or some type of tech opener, he's willing to build 10 Hydras, for example. And, Wraith is not so great versus that. So I don't know if we'll
Yeah, I
see
was
Wraith.
going to mention that Nyoken. By the way, Soulkey apparently the vibe I'm getting is that he's playing very confident against this style of factory. So I asked myself if actually it's not time for JYJ to play the classic game.
It could be because when he played versus Queen, he played, I think, pretty normal, right? Like it was like a 3 or 4 racks opener. He was just on the map all the time, and he really kept Queen at bay. Like he didn't allow Queen to get a fourth base. Like I could see him pulling out that again. Also thinking back to other Terran players like Mind, whenever he opened 3 racks or 4 racks with +1 weapon, he had some great vessel usage versus Defilers. He also won those games. So yeah, I think it could be time for just a normal opener, especially on Sylphid, which is, just kind of a typical normal map.
Because mentally thinking about the last game, you could say that Soulkey was actually like dealing very well with the strat. So maybe like it will be good for JYJ actually to just show that classic Terran that he was like playing so good against Queen. Um, yeah, I think like it's time to like I'm not, I don't disagree he's doing using these builds, but at least just to change the pace because if you're like playing factory, that can actually like help Soulkey in a way.
Yeah, if they just know it's consistently coming, yeah, that's for sure that could be the case. And also when I do see players play, unusual is not the right word, but uncommon builds like 111 or this Goliath Marine Medic opener. Yes, they're solid builds, but when I see it consistently, it makes me think that these players are worried about their opponent, like they can't win with a normal build. So I agree. I do want to see just a normal opener here and see how it can go.
We are with the Hot Six commercial that makes you wanna drink
Oh,
one.
six.
Here we go, man. They drinking that non-stop. Oh my god.
I know every cast they drank one, man. It used to be that the caster on the right would not finish the drink, but look at him go. He's gonna finish it. Of course, Into the Rain always finishes. He's always the first one done. He loves that thing, man. I always love Caster Park in the middle. He's always got that reaction with his face like he's doing right now. Whoa, whoa.
So you say this is like the same that a Red Bull, right?
Yeah, it's similar. I didn't try the black one, but I tried the one in the white, and it tasted similar to me.
So let me ask you this question: can you actually drink that non-stop? Because I can actually.
I thought it was okay. We're going into a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah.
And we are back. We are getting into the pivotal Game 3 in just a moment, but I guess we've got the ASL promotion first. Both players trading wins, first on Vermeer and then on Heartbreak Ridge. And so far, I really do like JYJ's builds, but Soulkey, man, the harassment has been on point with those mutas.
Yeah, Soulkey muta play has been really, really good so far. Even in the first game, with three vessels, and you could think like, dude, I already you 2 times. Those mutas are going to evaporate. And now Soulkey, he was even like splitting ahead of time already. In some of the attack attempts. So Soulkey really looking really good in my opinion. JYJ also looking really good, looking like someone that prepared a good amount of builds. I don't know how much he has left, but I would like to see a classic game at least.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see the classic game, and there's the stat that I was waiting to see. What do the fans think? And so far, they think 69% in favor of Soulkey for this series. I'm still a believer in JYJ, though. I gotta say it. I think he's looking really dangerous. The games have been close, and the games have been quite long, too. Like, they're 20 minutes. Like, it's a slugfest back and forth each time. You know, it's not a blowout. It's not like just a 10-minute bust and somebody gets run over. And we are getting into a normal map, or a common map, Sylphid. I thought that was actually Elky for a second, but he's not here, man. He's, I guess, just a Jaedong fan, and with no Jaedong here, he's not going to be rooting for either one.
I have seen many foreigners, bro, in this studio. Even if there are no live casters, English live casters anymore in the studio.
Yeah, that is true. What was it? We saw like 10 or so foreigners yesterday in the crowd. We even saw Cadenzi come out. We saw Elky come out, which I didn't think that could ever happen. But yeah,
I didn't expect to see Elky in 2023 in that studio, to be honest. Like Elky is such a brand, and like he's all over the world, and seeing him in Korea, that is crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, as I was watching it, I was like, dude, you gotta go put the sunglasses on, man. You gotta have the sunglasses.
Yeah, at first I was like, is this Elky? Because he didn't have the glasses. I was like, and then he put the glasses, yeah, 100% it's Elky.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, you gotta have him. And then, of course, he had him just sitting there tied to his shirt. It was perfect. Okay, well.
And these players, they are so focused. Sylphid is such a great map, Nyoken. In my opinion, one of the best maps since CQ Breakers, pretty much. One of the most standard maps to this date. One of the most enjoyable maps to play, in my opinion. So I'm really glad to see Sylphid in this ASL.
So am I. It is one of those maps that is pretty balanced, especially, or even in Terran versus Protoss. Like, I think Terran may be slightly favored. So it's definitely a well-made map, and our players are ready. So let's get into Game 3, find out who's going to take a 2-1 lead in our series. Okay, in the mid-left position, our Terran, it is JYJ. And in the top middle, our Bluezerg, it is Soulkey. And we don't have to worry about bottom right Muta or Wraith harassment because neither player spawned in that position.
And that way, I want to mention Soulkey being lucky with these scout positions, to be honest.
Yeah, gonna find JYJ first. And then I think also the top position is the spot you want to spawn on Sylphid, also because of the mining efficiency. So overall, this is just a great position for Soulkey to be in. But I gotta say, I like JYJ spawning at mid-left.
Oh, is this the move?
What's the move? Oh, is it?
Oh no, it's supply. It's supply.
Yeah, it is going to be the semi-wall here. Okay, and look at this. This is a somewhat quick drone scout. I guess he's maybe thinking that this could be 8 racks time.
Yeah, interesting. Soulkey is scouting like this. By the way, this is going to affect Soulkey economy in some way.
Yeah, and also when the drone shows itself pretty quickly with this, well, I guess he is not going to scout mid-left. He is going to go bottom right. The Overlord hasn't gotten there just yet. But if JYJ was to know that, hey, this guy sent out a fast drone, yeah, he would know Soulkey had hurt his econ quite a bit. Now, in the main of JYJ, I've got my eyes locked on that geyser. And this time around, no gas, so it is just going to be a normal opener.
Yeah, I feel it's going to be a classic Ser versus Terran, but that means JYJ is going to need to deal with Muta Micro now with Marine Bio, and we are going to see exactly how he actually deals with that.
Yeah, he did get mid-left, though, which is, I think, the best spot you can get for Terran dealing with Muta harassment. Now, look at this SCV. It got off so many hits, and the drone really didn't get off that much damage, so he will be able to scout for a while.
Nyoken, three bases for Soulkey.
Yep, it is going to be a 3-hatch opener, and it is going to be a hatchery at mid-right.
Look at JYJ already doing the bunker rush.
You think it's going to be a bunker?
Is that a Marine to the main?
Okay, I guess it could be a bunker rush. The SCV is going to find... Oh, nope, he actually turned around. And I think that's even another drone scout going out to make sure that he doesn't get bunkered at mid-right. Well, he may just... Is that another SCV? Well, okay, that's a slick move. He's sending out a second SCV to mid-right, and bottom right may already be under threat.
Yeah, he's probably... He can even get a cancel if he managed to get that bunker up.
Yeah, this is going to get up. He may even get the Overlord.
Oh, the Overlord!
If he gets the Overlord, Soulkey's in mega trouble.
If you get the Overlord, that is worse than canceling the hatchery for sure.
Yeah. And I wonder what Soulkey's going to do now. Is he going to try and save it? Is he going to counter? The bunker is in range. Like, Zerg sees this, so he needs to get those Marines in there ASAP. The Zerglings do not get there in time to intercept the third Marine, and the SCV is on the high ground. If he had sent the second SCV to mid-right, he could have like a full wall on the ramp.
That's 3 Marines in the bunker, right, Nyoken?
Yeah, so he's 2-shotting Lings.
And 1 SCV. That minimum requires 12 Zerglings.
Okay, well, he's got maybe 12. 1 SCV repairing. Oh, look at the micro. Okay, he still ends up cleaning it up, but that was way worth. And back in JYJ's main, I'd like to get a look at what his build order is. Is it like an eBay follow-up? Is this Academy? I think it is actually just a stem push.
Yeah, great start for JYJ if you ask me. Like, forcing that many Zerglings is no joke, and now with the counter, but you know what? What about the Marine numbers? How powerful can this be, to be honest?
Well, he's already got 5 Marines, and this was not a rushed Academy, like it's just starting at 425. So I think it's going to be a considerable amount of Marines, actually, maybe upwards of 12 or so. Well, if he moves out now, it's not going to be 12.
But he doesn't have medics. He can't really attack like this.
Yeah, he can't. This would be so risky. If Soulkey just ended up building like 8 more Zerglings, his entire army would just be crushed. Now, mid-right, is that a Hydra Den? What is that? That's a big building. Or is that a sunken colony? Oh, he canceled it. He was building something there. It looks like it was probably a sunken that got canceled because he thought it was a faster stem timing, but we see that the Academy was delayed a decent amount. Now he's going to sunken up his natural.
Yeah, now is when Soulkey is actually building his eco, and by the way, that Spire timing is quite late. So far JYJ build order is working really good. But what Soulkey has in his hand is that tier base. This is what matters here for him.
Yep, and we do have the move out. Only 1 sunken at mid-right. Look at this Firebat SCV positioning. That's pretty slick. And that means that this Ling counterattack is really not a big threat. He even has stim already. I don't know if one Sunken's enough to hold mid-right. But he's not heading over there, so don't really need to worry about that.
The factory timing from JYJ.
Yeah, I was wondering what the follow-up was going to be. I like the factory timing. I think that this is a great follow-up. You could go into Valkyrie push if you want. You could go into Science Vessel push. Look at that control.
Nice. Soulkey just throws 6, how many? 6 sellings?
Yeah, something like that, and he didn't get a single kill. Oh, he's actually going for it. That is shocking.
Not sure about this.
Yeah, and he lost a lot there. He had like 10 Marines, so he lost like 6 or 7 of them. So that was a big loss, but he at least did force, you know, another building to be built. He does have his double starport going up though.
You can feel this is an ASL game because Soulkey just made a mistake and JYJ follow up with a mistake by himself.
Well, neither player have gotten punished. Neither player have gotten punished yet, I don't think. Turrets are coming up, and that means that the Meadows are going to have a tough time harassing this mineral line. It is only 3 barracks though, so if he can whittle down the bio ball, he may be able to eventually overrun that position in the main. Only 6 mutas.
So can abuse this cliff or no?
Yeah, only 6 mutas. Turrets are in a pretty slick position. Also, that rack's giving a little bit of vision right now. That muta almost got blasted, so Soulkey does need to be careful.
Well, he's on 3 gases, so he has gas to spare right now. He can go now into this mass mutas and then take to lurker, take to hive, take to graze.
Yeah, I see the Queen's Nest going down at mid-right. It doesn't seem unusually fast to me, so I think this is just a normal hive timing. I don't think we can read it as being like Guardian Hydra just yet. Hydra Den, I don't think has been placed anywhere just yet. Overall, these mutas really haven't done much damage, and 1 muta falls there. It does force out a decent amount of turrets, a bunker, but Vessels are going to be coming in pretty soon. There's the Hydra Den. I didn't see an evolution chamber anywhere, so it's not ultraless. It's not like heavy upgrades.
Medics. Oh, that medic survived 11 mutas?
I guess so. But like you said, it is still 3 base Zerg, so even though the mutas haven't done a lot of damage in the main or the natural, Zerg still has big econ. He does have his hive coming in. There's the evolution chamber, so he is starting to get his upgrades. And again, that muta just tanks, or that medic tanks the muta shot and does not fall.
I'm not sure why JYJ is going out like this, because I don't see he can... by the way, is a vessel transition or Valkyrie transition?
I think it's vessel transition. Double starport. I didn't see an armory. I think the science facilities, yeah, right there. We do have double eBay. There's only 2 turrets. And just like the Heartbreak Ridge game, these mutas are buying a lot of time. Oh, but they're heavily damaged.
Yeah, Soulkey need to be careful because now there are 2 vessels out. He probably needs more, because lurkers I don't think they are going to be ready. He probably needs more Sunkens in the natural.
Yeah, already the vessels are out and they're going to have irradiate. We don't see any additional Sunkens, at least not just yet, but double irradiate is going to be very powerful because right now the only defense is those 8 mutas. Like there's 2 Hydras, but I don't see lurkers being morphed just yet. Ooh, that's a great irradiate. Oh my gosh, so much damage that single irradiate did.
Yeah, and just like that, JYJ taking map control. Luckily for Soulkey, he denied that the CV and the command center didn't start.
Yeah, if he was to go into drop ships immediately, that could also be a great follow-up, because looking at the lack of vision on the top side of Soulkey's base, or the bottom side of Soulkey's base, you know, that could be a game-winning combo, but I think he didn't do that. I think he just went into more vessels. That's a really fast command center, so we're going to have a 3rd base, probably a 4th base coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, a Drochi play here could be really dangerous. But I don't know. So far, it seems like JYJ play more conservative, trying to see if he can irradiate some lurkers and see what he can do with this May army.
Yep, we do have macro hatches coming in for Soulkey, so unlike the Vermeer game, he's going to have a lot of production. He's already got big econ with his third base. There's also no tanks at all this game for JYJ, so he's going to be completely reliant on these vessels, maybe even go into BCs, but I see that science facility is not in the same spot that it was originally, so it's already floated somewhere. Yep, there it is. So no BCs, just pure vessels.
By the way, look at this Nyoken. He's making machine shop already. Is this for mines or there is a tank transition here?
I think this is going to be for tanks. I know players like Light will mix in mines sometimes, depending on his... depending on the state of the game. I think it's too late for mines. I think tanks are what you really need to go for and try and slowly build them up over time. I like the vessel count right now. It's at 4, but we haven't irradiated anything other than the mutas. Mutas, oh, finds an opening. There's no turrets there anymore. Hello.
This is so annoying for the JYJ now.
Yeah, he got rid of the turrets to try and allow the SCVs to mine slightly more efficiently, but those mutas came in.
By the way, it makes sense that he's transitioning to tanks like you mentioned, because this is pretty much a Hydra Lurker Defiler game, right?
Oh yeah, and I was waiting to see if this was going to be the Eraser, and he gets a decent amount of drones. That was worth for sure.
That was like 8 drones or 7.
Yep, and he gets the Lurker. However, Muta's on the left side, but there's 3 more vessels here, and that's another good irradiate, but an instant split. Soulkey always on top of it. Oh, double factory actually. So we're going to have a lot of tanks coming in. The vessel count hasn't taken any damage really. We may have another Eraser, man.
Yeah,
Oh, there he goes.
I'm surprised there are no more scores and already defending.
Oh my gosh, just a single Eraser dealing a lot of damage, and Zerg is taking a...
Oh my god, he played that?
Yeah, he played it. Yeah, that was a great play. No Hydras though to get the killing blows, but those mutas are still alive. Oh, this can't work, right? Yeah, the Lings and the Defilos come in. I think he just baited out the Defiler so he could get another Irradiate off.
What happened to all the drones in that tier base?
The double Eraser, and then he tried to save them going through the Nidus, and then he hasn't transferred them back, I think is really what just happened. These Marines are trading really cost effectively. I like the science facility giving him some vision also. There's no Hydras out to pop it just yet, so it's being very worthwhile.
JYJ is putting so much power, man, in this game. There's so many units out, so many vessels, and he's like suffocating Soulkey right now.
Yeah, he's crushing it. This looks exactly like the Queen game, where he's just saying, okay, you've got a third base, but guess what? You don't get another one. Like, there's no fourth base for you. Meanwhile, he does have 4 bases himself. Look how confident he is. Instead of banking up tanks slowly, he's gonna push with 3 because he has a billion irradiates.
Actually, I agree with this move. Better have this army outside the enemy's base than getting contained in your base.
Yeah, and he just sniped that. He sniped 2 Defilers with those 3 tanks. However, those vessels, I think every single one of them are plagued, so he does need to be careful because he could see literally 8 vessels just die in an instant. Oh no. Oh, well, there goes one of them. Does lose that Defiler.
By the way, Nyoken, I didn't see any Hydra sub. This is like a Ultralist timing after all?
It looks like it. Yeah, there it is. There's the Ultralist Cavern, but the upgrades are not the fastest for Zerg, so I don't know how effective this is going to be. We do have the Lings getting on top of those tanks. That's one of the reasons as I was skeptical of the tanks. They die so fast, they don't have any upgrades. They're very far forward. So good pick off there with the Lings. Get 2 of them, but he's just ruthless with this. He's moving through the center. He's still up 60 supply. Zerg still can't get a 4th base anywhere.
Yeah, if you think about it, like from comparing Eco versus Eco, like JYJ is killing it by far. He's on 4 bases, and but yeah, now that ultras are out, he really needs to be careful.
I think he's killed every single Muta and every single Hydra, so he can still just irradiate forever in the center of the map without fear of losing these plagued vessels. He still has 5 healthy vessels at his rally point. Look at this. These Ultra Lings, well, okay, it did better than I thought. He is going to kill the entire army, and he does get double vessels, so that was a worthwhile trade for Soulkey, but still, he's still unable to get a 4th base.
Yeah, JYJ is like putting so much army in the map. Like it's Soulkey, whatever place he tries to go spend, he need to fight for it.
Yeah, and the upgrades for Zerg are actually pretty damn good. They're 4-1. Terran, I think, still doesn't have +3 weapon just yet, and that's obviously critical if you want to face Ultras to not ever be down or even in upgrades. Those tanks do not have any weapon upgrade though, by the way, so that is a big deal. Vessel is going to pick off another Defiler, so just like on the Vermeer game, Soulkey's going to struggle to actually breach any of these bases.
Soulkey needs to somehow deal with these vessels because there is too much freedom for them right now. They just like irradiating everything in the bit of the map.
Yeah, the macro and the vessel usage is just crazy. The double bunker, that gets saved. Soulkey is double expanding. He's trying to take top middle and mid right, but those are one of the bases that don't have full mineral patches or full gas, so I don't think JYJ, cares that much, but he is going to knock down top middle.
I know Soulkey needs gas, but I'm surprised he didn't take the mineral only as well. That is helpful.
Yeah, it really would help. But look at this. He just doesn't care, man. He just sits through the lurkers shooting him. He's got the irradiate. He kills all the lurkers, and he's going to kill this hatchery.
Yeah, if the game continues like this, JYJ is going to keep trading better and better, and eventually just Soulkey is going to run out of minerals.
Look at this one tank in the back. The medic in the front limits the surface area of the Ultras. They still end up cleaning it up, but that was a big commitment to just kill a tiny army. He lost like 3 Ultras, and this army is still in the center of the map. The vessel count still hasn't been reset. We still haven't seen a single Hydra. There's no Mutas. The vessel count's still at 6. This is crazy from JYJ. He's crushing it. Just needs fire bats, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he's doing very well when it comes to put army in the map and just making time, letting Soulkey to waste resources. In my opinion, the strategy is working perfect.
Well, we gotta get that Defiler though. That was really good counterattack from Soulkey there. The Lings and the Ultras dealt with those Plague Marines very easily. Terran lost a lot of Marines there, but the vessel count still, God, it's just never ending. Every time we look at the army, it just gets bigger and bigger. Double irradiate going off there. Irradiates drones. That's how many vessels he has? Dude.
Yeah, Nyoken, I'm not sure how many Ultras can Soulkey keep losing, to be honest.
Yeah, like, he's losing all of his expensive units, and, I mean, Terran's losing, a tank here and there, but not many. He's just losing, like, pure Marines. He's, like, not even losing medics. This is just...
Oh my god, there are more vessels than actually, like, Soulkey units at this point.
Yeah, the way this game is going is it doesn't even look like Soulkey can breathe in this game. Like, this is just complete domination. Maybe finally the Mutas can get rid of some of these vessels, but they don't. The Defiler gets off a huge plague, but there's nothing to combo with. So the vessels remain, still struggling to get a 4th base. Soulkey's almost depleted on gas at this point. We're 20 minutes into the game. You gotta imagine the geysers are gonna start depleting any moment now.
Yeah. I was going to mention that it surprised me he didn't go to Hydras after all, but it's easy to say that when the game is almost over and the strategy for Soulkey failed. But yeah, it seems to me he was always short on gas, actually.
Yeah, he's been consistently using it, but he's never getting the trades that he's looking for. Like the Ultras, I think maybe he had one good engagement just a couple minutes ago at bottom right where he traded well versus the Plagued Marines. But other than that, these Ultras have just been a liability. Like, oh, we're going to have another Eraser, man. And this is like half of the drone line. There it is, GG. And that was pure domination from JYJ.
Yeah, I'm glad he played like that, to be honest, because like in the game one, it took time to Soulkey to adapt. Now that he's up 2-1, you can actually like be more tricky for the next game. Have like a great shot now to finish the series.
Yeah, and if I was Soulkey there, I would definitely be second guessing the Ling Defiler Ultra play because that just did not work out at all. I think now he's kind of obligated to try the Hydra Lurker again because at least he was pushing the army back. At least he was having good trades. That game, he just never had anything going for him. I mean, he even got a third base up and didn't really take much damage, and it still didn't matter.
No, and don't forget that wow, this was a great move, by the way, the Eraser.
Yeah, 50 drones. Let's see how many he gets. He gets like 7 or 6 drones right there. Really well done. And then he came in with a secondary eraser also, and that killed like another 5 or 6 drones too.
Yeah.
Right here, this one. Just a single eraser gets so many more drones. 49 down to 46, so he gets 3 more drones. And it was just JYJ all day. Like, he got his third base, then he got his fourth base, and he was just relentless.
Yeah, and don't forget also that in the early game, JYJ put a great move with the bunker rush to the tier base.
Yeah, it did put pressure on. How many links did he build? 12? That's a big commitment, but he did end up cleaning it up. But yeah, those lings could have been drones, and well, I don't know what you do at this point as Soulkey other than not go ling ultra, that's for sure. That just didn't work. But we're going to be going into a break, and then this is potentially the last life of Soulkey. It's match 4, and it's going to be Dark Origin. We'll see you soon. And we are back, and we are moments away from getting into potentially the last game of the day. JYJ has been bringing it to Soulkey today. He is up 2-1, one game away. But if there's anyone that can bring it back, especially in a Zerg versus Terran, it's that guy right there, Soulkey. I'm still a believer that we could get to game 5.
Yeah, for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, last pick was from JYJ, right? Last map.
Yeah, last map is going to be Retro, if I remember correctly.
No, I mean the Sylphid, the map, last map playing.
Yes, it was his pick. It was Sylphid, and then this is Soulkey's pick, which is Dark Origin.
But yeah, one game from advancing. Can you keep it real, or are you getting too nervous to final advance to semis?
Yeah, that is something to think about. I don't think Soulkey's really ever nervous. Every time I look at his face, he just looks stone cold. Like I almost never see a reaction, even when he I think got reverse swept in a Zerg versus Zerg a couple seasons ago. He didn't seem to have any reaction. So can JYJ keep it together? Because right now he's as close as he's ever been to making it to the round of 4, and we are ready. So let's get into it.
By the way, Nyoken, I've been thinking about the last game.
Yeah?
I've been thinking about the last game, and do you think if Soulkey didn't scout early on with that drone, he will be not in so much trouble against that bunker because of the pool timing?
I was thinking that. I don't know exactly how many seconds you lose, but I think it is something like 8 to 10 seconds on your spawning pool. And a Marine is 15 seconds to build? So that third Marine may have never gotten in there, right? And then maybe you don't have to build as many lanes to actually kill it. But that could be something to consider. And look at that win rate. 6-1 versus Terran, at least so far in this ASL.
Oh my god, are you telling me the only guy that losing this map, it was Soma?
It might have been. Oh, another wall, Eonzerg. You know what that means. Most likely this is going to be another tech opener.
Yeah, Nyoken, I've been watching games on this map. Terrans love to do grace. I don't know if that is going to be the case, but I have seen multiple times people playing grace on this map.
Okay, well, it could definitely be an option. You're going to go for a wall like this. We'll have to, of course, keep our eyes peeled to see if it is actually a 1-1-1, or if this is, or a gas opener, or if this is going to be a mind game. Drone being sent out, this time not early, so it is just going to be normal hatch timing. And JYJ is approaching 100 minerals, and there is that gas.
Look at Soulkey scouting. It's really conservative. I don't want to lose that overload to some sneaky A-racks.
Yeah, that's true. But he is sending a drone out to scout. He is going to check probably, I guess, top right, or maybe he may actually scout the entire across the map to see if this is a wall, because JYJ has consistently gone for a wall, and every time he's gone for the wall, it has been tech. So I like this scout.
This time we're watching the classic 2-hash Muta.
Okay. The classic. I love it, man. Not 2.5 hatch, just the normal.
Yeah, because now they do this let's make a drone, then let's make a pool, let's make a drone, let's make a gas,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Eonzerg, it is not going to be Wraith, or at least not one base Wraith, because JYJ has pulled off of gas. We still have the opportunity to see a starport follow-up, but consistently JYJ today with the tech opener has opted into a relatively quick command center, so I'm expecting to see that again. SCV comes in, confirms that it is a normal 2-hatch timing.
Yeah, here we go with the lair. JYJ so far doing a good job dodging that drone from getting hits. Because of this map feature, you can actually put that vulture into the center main.
Yeah, you could jump it in just like what we saw on Heartbreak Ridge. And Soulkey, you can tell, is really weary of these proxy factories because he sent a drone to his third base to scout. He sent a drone behind his minerals at the natural to scout to see if something was there. He's being really diligent to make sure that he's not caught off guard by anything. And in JYJ's main, there was the command center on the high ground as expected. SCV is moving like he's going to put down a starport. Oh no, that's not SCV, it's a vulture. Oh, Valkyries, or at least armory again.
No way, right? He's not repeating that build from HBR. Heartbreak Ridge.
So far, it looks like it could be. I think that was a solid build. If the mutas don't keep him back for like 5 minutes, I think he could have won with that. His army was so ridiculously strong, but the mutas just kept him back forever. They couldn't do anything. But this vulture, well, for now, not moving out. Oh, it's Goliath.
Some mech build. The more I see games on this map, it really seems like it's a map that improve destination in many ways.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
You know, like destination used to be so static, but this map is really like it opens so many different ways to play, to attack. I really like how they did it.
Yeah, this is definitely a cool map, and it's funny you mentioned destination because when mech was first becoming a thing, destination was the map most players were playing mech on. So it is cool to see that, hey, maybe this is destination 2.0 and we're seeing another mech opener here from JYJ. Now I gotta ask you, what do you think of mech? Do you think it's strong? Do you think Zerg players have figured it out?
You're asking the worst guy. My win rate against mech is like 0.0001.
Okay. Well, I think Zerg players have gotten really strong versus this particular Goliath play. So I do hope JYJ has something special planned, whether it's, building 7 factories instead of 5, or maybe taking a faster third command center. I don't think if he goes for...
Soulkey going with the settings, Nyoken.
Okay.
Can be really dangerous here.
Yeah, he may need a bunker, actually. Okay, there's... Well, maybe not. That's going to be 4 Goliaths with turrets, 5 Goliaths with turrets in a fortified position. I don't know if this will work, but it could be. The Goliath count is not that high. But yeah, with the turrets, I think that was a wise move from Soulkey to back off. But he does almost lose a Muta already. Oh, he found the opening. He found the gypsy spot in the back of the mineral line. But it's only 5 Mutas.
Yeah, he loses a Muta for that move. But you know what? Are those more Zerglings or they are the same Zerglings?
I think those are the same Zerglings that they were. Critically, the Mutas, even though they didn't get a lot of damage, they did spot that, hey, the eBay's not blinking. In fact, it's floated, so he doesn't have to worry about Marine Medic, and that is Burrow. And now, I'm a big fan of Burrow because it's unlikely to get scanned. You're going to see exactly when Terran moves out, especially versus a mech opener where they delay comsats forever. I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for the mech players to do vessel before doing scans. Crazy enough.
Oh, okay. Actually, it's more Mutas. I was not expecting this. I thought he was going to go into Hydras after the 5 Mutas, but it is going to be 9 Mutas so far. Good defense this time around from JYJ, comboing the turrets with the Goliaths, and he's going to try and intercept the Mutas, but the Mutas, of course, can see them already trying to move into position because of those burrowed lings.
Oh no, he's upgrading Marines again.
Uh-oh, a delayed Marine Medic switch? Okay, this could be the switch. The mix-up. Oh, wait,
was that a mistake? Did he cancel it? What the hell?
What?
Did he cancel it?
The weapon upgrade? No, his eBay was floating the whole time.
No, it was in the ground, Nyoken. With the blinking.
Oh, okay, I definitely missed that. Maybe the Mutas came in and saw it, so he
is
now mind gaming here? Okay, well, I missed that, but that was a good catch by you. And now, maybe Soulkey thinks that this is actually going to be Marine Medic, but, well, now he sees the eBay's floating again. So, oh, +1 weapon on the mutas, so a lot of damage.
Oh man, Soulkey's thinking right now, well, this guy can't decide what build he wants to do. I guess I need to keep scouting.
Yeah, for sure, you got a scout versus this. You know, the more I'm thinking about, yeah, I was just about to say that maybe he should just take a command center, but it gets instantly spotted. You know, this is a map with limited bases. Terran doesn't have to necessarily attack to win the game. They could just take their half of the map for 40 minutes and just starve Zerg out.
Man, pro gamers are different. Like the manifest scouting going on here is so crazy to the point that, like, if imagine JYJ was like building a starport or something like that, like Soulkey need to be more careful. But now that he knows there is a CC, he has so much freedom now to drone up, to make more hatcheries, to make more, you know, just make himself stronger.
Yeah, he can literally do whatever he wants. And the problem for me with mech is, you see that command center? You see how there's no comsat still? What is Terran supposed to figure out from this? Like, it could be Hydralin, it could be Queens being built, it could be pure mutas being built. You really have no idea what Zerg is doing when you open with this with such a late comsat. So JYJ is going to have some real game sense to figure out what's going on, because he also showed that this is a command center. So Zerg knows that there's no timing coming. But that doesn't mean Zerg's not going to all in you.
Yeah, because there is no timing coming, he really need to be careful that he doesn't have like a major loss of units. He's aiming here for such an impeccable upgrade timing attack with the Goliath's vessel and tanks that is almost a one-shot opportunity.
Yeah. Now, I will say that if Soulkey was going for an all-in, it would be hard to engage into these tiny chokes, but that's a lot of mutas, and he does catch a couple of Goliaths, but the movement backwards, okay, that's a lot of Hydras, so we may have a bust. And actually, JYJ has a lot of the Goliaths in his main. He was repositioning out. Now he's in an awkward situation. There's like 20 mutas in his main, while Hydras are attacking the front.
But these Hydras are wasting, in my opinion.
Yeah, this was not synced up as well as it could have. Look at that instant repair from JYJ trying to save the day with SCVs. A lot of the mutas are heavily damaged, so actually, I think this was a good hold from JYJ. He limited the losses. Supplies are still high for Soulkey, but these mutas are caught.
They are, but they are doing so much eco damage at the same time. Remember, Sir here is on at least 6 hatcheries by now.
Yeah, and the mutas are now finally getting a lot of damage into the main, forcing a lot of the SCVs to be pulled back. The mutas are so heavily damaged. If there was like even just 6 mutas or 6 Goliaths here, I think you would kill all of the mutas. All the turrets have been taken down, so these 7 mutas are still dealing a decent amount of damage. Soulkey has supply lead for the first time this game. Oh, the SCVs get caught again.
Yeah, call me crazy Nyoken, but these mutas, even if you lose them now, they already pay off.
Yeah, at this point it doesn't matter. They've just been definitely worth. I don't even think that tank has siege mode. He's attacking into Hydras uphill. Hydras are going to be coming across the bridges also. This may be it, Eonzerg. There's just so many Hydras hitting from both sides.
He's not ready to hold this Nyoken. I think this is game.
I think it is game also. Finally, the mutas get cleaned up, but third base has been breached. This command center is definitely going to die. The SCVs are probably... Well, the SCVs actually were able to escape, but third base being killed off, and Zerg is already on 4 bases and has like 7 hatches or something.
Oh, can he save the CC? No.
No, there's no way. Oh my gosh, and it was a muta switch. He catches 3 of the tanks, and that's going to be GG any moment.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Goliaths apparently are not for JYJ.
Yeah. I'm really not a big fan of the Goliath mech play. Zerg players are just so strong with it, and you can see how strong they are right there. Like, the Hydras move in right when the mutas go into the main. Such an awkward position with all the turrets, and depots blocking the Goliath, and Soulkey, he takes game 4 easily.
I see a few problems in that game from JYJ point of view. Is that he had to change his build at least 2 times, and that just like step back him so much.
Yeah, if he did land that eBay and did start +1, he still could have gone Marine Medic with 2 factories. Like that's an actual real build. Like that can be a strong timing also. But like you said, if you're gonna have to cancel your build twice, I mean, you've just got to have a streamlined build at this level. Like there cannot be any deviations from it, pretty much. And he got punished really hard. Now, this initial defense I thought was going to be good because I know he had like 5 Goliaths in his main waiting, but he moved them out to deal with the Hydras, and then these mutas just ran rampant.
Yeah, he find this weak spot, and from this moment, just he never stopped.
Yeah, there's a lot of turrets there too. Like they bought a lot of time. There's like 5 turrets right there, but like you saw, the Hydras attacking the natural drew so many units out of position. And then the issue here is SCVs, as they're trying to escape, also prevent the Goliaths from getting in. For example, also the depots prevent units from getting in. So it's just weird for the Goliaths to engage. But the mutas were stuck. Like it looked like a good position for JYJ, but he could just never find the correct angle. Like right here, look at those SCVs body blocking those Goliaths.
Yeah, and because Soulkey is so active with the Hydras, he also need to keep army in the front, and he was trying to also trap the mutas in the tier base. So, but in the end, he was never able to catch these mutas.
Yeah, I think in situations like that where it could get hectic really quick, if you can't have the units there, I think the best option is to float your barracks, float your eBay there. So at least Soulkey can't just A move, right? Like if he A moves, the eBay and the racks will buy a lot of time. He's going to have to actually pay attention to his Hydras. So a little bit of a misstep there, but Soulkey does bring it back to 2-2, and we are going to get into game 5, Eonzerg. It all comes down to this.
Game 5, Nyoken. We will be back for game 5, where the champions are born.
Yeah, man. And it's going to be retro as our final map. Another standard map. And maybe this will be the first time in the entire series we could see like an aggressive opener. 8 racks. We haven't seen Soulkey open 9 pool or overpool either.
No, and Soulkey is the guy that loves to mix rushes.
Yeah, that is true. So we'll be back in just a moment after this quick break. This is what it all comes down to. We are in the final game of the round of 8. Will it be another Terran moving into the round of 4? Or will we have another Zerg? Both players really hitting strong today. JYJ looks unstoppable in some of the games, but Soulkey also coming in clutch with wins on Heartbreak Ridge and just now on Dark Origin.
Yeah, it's been such a great series so far. Multiple builds, lot of highlights. But what you say can be more clear. This is the game. Retro for life.
Yeah, and I like how we've got a standard map as our final map. I really want to see JYJ play Bio. Every time we see him play Bio, he looks untouchable. Even the Vermeer game, he played that very effectively. The Sylphid game, that game was not close. Also the Sylphid game versus Queen, that was also not close. So I think in the final map, I think we got to go back to what has worked the entire series or the entire season, which is Bio. But if you're Soulkey here, what do you go for? Do you go for the Hydra Lurker, which almost got you a victory on Vermeer? Or do you rely on that heavy Mutaplay that has worked out so well for him?
Imagine a 5 for Nyoken.
A 5 pool. That would be crazy. And in the top left, our red Terran, it is JYJ. And in the top right, our blue Zerg, it is Soulkey.
By the way, Soulkey again with the scouting. This is crazy, man.
He's gotten very lucky in this series to get the first scout off. Again, he's going to overlook that natural and see exactly what's going on. And like we stated before the break, there's been no 8 Raxes. There's been no 9 pools. Neither side has been really aggressive. Could now be the time to see something aggressive. So far, there's no 9 pool. There's no forward SCV. This is going to be for a depot, I think. But it is kind of late, so it could be for our barracks. Oh no, is he walling again?
Maybe we're going to see a repeat of build number 1?
Yeah, maybe. It did work out well with the 1-1-1. He's still transitioning into Bio, which, as I was stating, has been his bread and butter this entire season. We do not have an overpool. We do not have a 12 pool, so we are going to have another 12 hatch opener.
Yeah, I think that probably this time we're going to see the 2.5.
Okay, well, there goes the hatch, and there is the gas. So, oh, actually, it was an 11 gas for JYJ, so that's different.
Actually, Soulkey making 11 pool. That's interesting.
Yep, 11 pool. He doesn't want to risk it in game 5. This guy 8 racks. Don't want to lose my natural, and we do have.
He's actually doing classic 2 hash muta.
Yep, the classic, and again another center scout from Soulkey. So he is again being very diligent with his scouting to make sure that there are no shenanigans going on. Meanwhile, JYJ is about to have that 100 gas for the factory, and again the Overlord is going to spot the wall. And if I was JYJ, I'd be so pissed, man. Like, dude, every time you find me first. But this time he is one basing, and we may finally get the Wraith play that you were talking about.
Oh, really? It's great. Did you see the gas? Oh my god.
Well, this is when you know that he is confident in the builds that he has planned. He planned the 2-port Wraith for this map, and he's going to go for it. Even though Bio has been so successful for him all season long, this is what he's prepared. I assume it's Wraith because it can only be that. And it's the first time he's shown it all season.
I'm a bit worried for him, Nyoken, because if it was 2.5 at least, you can have that advantage. But doing classic 2 hash muta, these 2-port Greys, I don't think it's going to be as strong as it's supposed to be.
Well, we'll see. What I do like that JYJ has done is, even though in the previous games he could have built the command center on the low ground, what did he do? He built it in the high ground. So this time around, Soulkey may be thinking, okay, again, it's another high ground command center. But we know that that is not the case.
Yeah, but those Marines are actually doing too much work into that Overlord. So I asked myself if Soulkey is already smelling something.
Well, if there's no Vulture, I think he does smell something. Because how many games did he open like this? Oh, he's going to lose the Marine. He does need to lift off and get into his main, but he can't let the Ling in. Okay, the gig's up. I think at this point you saw no Vulture. It can only be Wraith. There's no game that Terran went like this where there was no Vulture.
He's already making Grace. So Soulkey is minimum going to lose one Overlord. And we will see how he actually defends this.
Alright, SCV suicides in to scout the natural. He sees that there's no Hydras being built, so I guess he's pretty confident that it is just Mutas. Well, what do you do as Terran behind this? Do you get Cloak? Okay, he's going to move out with Marines. He wanted to push... Oh my gosh, are you serious? He just barely... Oh no, now he shows the Wraith. He's looking for that Overlord. He finds it. Oh, but he wasn't aware if it was a one base or not. So now he gets in and he does confirm it's a one base. Overlords, the Spire is still not done yet.
He knows Nyoken now. He knows he's going to lose few Overlords here.
He's not going to be supply blocked, but he is going to lose multiple drones. Oh, he got Burrow! Oh my gosh, what a read from Soulkey here.
Yeah, he already predicted it will be raised. Look at this. But he's losing Overlords. At least that's good for him.
Yeah, and even though he has Burrow to save the drones, well, they still can't mine just yet. So these two raids do deal a decent amount of damage. He did get, what was that, 3 Overlords? Like, that is a big pickoff. But this is a big commitment, of course, from Terran being on one base.
Yeah, it is a big commitment. He needs to do way more damage. He needs to abuse Cloak as well at some point. We will see how good he's able to do that.
This is a one base, man. This is for all the marbles. He risked not only a 2-port, but this is maybe going to be a 3 racks follow-up with Academy. I love it. This is just telling me JYJ, he is confident in his game plan, and he's going to try and commit to it right here. 5 race. They don't have Cloak just yet. Look at that burrowed Ling over there to give him some vision so he sees it coming in. The Patrol Micro. Oh, he picked off some Scourge.
Did he?
Yeah, I think that was a Scourge. I don't think that was a Muta. Alright, he's trying to get some damage. Oh, another Scourge ends up dying. So he does do some good pot shots with these Wraiths. Speed kicks in on the Overlords. Okay, so far the Muta...
Speed already, Nyoken.
Well, there's the Academy. There's so many Wraiths. So... as long as
when you are doing Grace as Terran,
yeah,
you know that you need to do a lot of damage to make this work. So far, we're not seeing that damage at all.
Yeah, that is true, but he still kept his race alive, and they soak up a lot of hits. Like, they're strong. Like, even if they don't deal a lot of damage to the ground, like to the Hydras or anything, if you combo 12 Rays with like a 3 racks Marine Medic push, that's gonna be hard for Zerg to stop. And he's got 9 Wraith already. Damn, that's so many.
Yeah, but this is one base, okay. I'm not so positive as you when it comes to this build. Like, this is an aggressive build. This is not supposed to be this defensive as is happening right now. Look at Soulkey already with the Hydra. Then the guy is probably even making lurkers.
Yeah, he is probably getting that lurker upgrade, and the Scourge are going to scout. He's always so diligent with the scouting, and now he knows, hello, all I have to do is survive literally the first push, and I'll be golden. There's the Queen's Nest, there's the Sunkens coming in, Evolution Chamber even coming in.
Yeah, Soulkey just need to make sure he has the right mutant numbers to deal with this Grace. He doesn't really want to lose all the mutas against Grace, man. That can be devastating.
Well, he's droning up. There's some Sunkens being built. There's not that many Marines left. There is still 11 Wraith though, and 11 Wraith obviously can start shredding mutas pretty quickly, especially with the patrol micro. SCV comes in, is going to see the bad news that, hey, there's 4 Sunkens set up. Ooh.
By the way, Nyoken, something I realized right now is that this map is not the most easy one to attack from one base to other.
That is true, and actually that's a spore colony. Alright, that's an interesting usage right there. It's going to deal a lot of damage to the race, and obviously not allow Terran to just A-move in here because of how much damage. Oh my god. Goodbye, Overlord. I think JYJ's got a shot. He needs to send the rest of his reinforcements, though. Like, right now, if he sent 9 more Marines, look at how fast that Hydra died.
Yeah, I think Soulkey, honestly, I think Soulkey position is like really good. He doesn't have a spore in the main, so maybe JYJ can abuse that.
Oh, he's got a queen? What? I don't know what you're supposed to do with that, but...
Snares.
Ensnare? Oh, he wants that spore. He needs to get rid of that spore. That's so critical for him. Oh, good control. Oh, he missed the ensnare! Now the spore is very low. This is a lot of Marines, man. There's also a lot of race support. The patrol micro, is it good enough? Is there enough Marines? I think the answer is no, and the lurker is going to complete, but it does get picked off.
Yeah, but this attack fails. He loses that timing. I'm not really sure. Like, there are a lot of grays left, but mutas also, they probably have a +1 carapace, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but the rates can knock down these Sunkens slowly but surely. There's also not any more lurkers. He built Ensnare and a queen. That Sunken's going to die. Look at this patrol micro. It's so crazy. He kept the medics alive also, so there's still a lot of healing power. The Marines are slowly reinforcing over and over. I don't think JYJ is necessarily out of it.
Soulkey having troubles to engage the Greys.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are still a lot of... Oh wow, he's going to kill the hatchery. That is cool.
Another Muta falls. The medic is not healing, so hopefully he fixes that. Okay, he's poking down Sunkens now. There's still no lurker. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. He just one-shots a Muta.
Yep, but Soulkey has queens now, but at least 2 snares. So if whatever JYJ decides to commit, he's going to eat those snares.
Oh, he does get ensnared. Does that end it? Oh, he just scanned. I think you got to go at this point. You can't let the lurker set up. Lurkers plus Sunkens? I don't think you can beat that.
Yeah, it's funny. He was trying to kill the Sunken with snare grace.
I don't know at this point anymore. He's now getting vessels for irradiate. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Vessel actually can change.
Yeah.
The air situation here, because irradiate will destroy those mutas.
Yeah, there's still no Defiler mound anywhere. Okay, I guess the mutas have decided that this can't be broken anymore, so he does actually try and go for a counterattack. He knows that Terran's trying to expand at this point. That vessel does have enough energy for a single irradiate. There's no way that's a drop, right? Oh, there's a big irradiate. Ooh, gets ensnared again, but I think the mutas can't engage this.
No, I think they are too low.
Oh, wait, HP. What? He never had Hive.
No, he made queens just to make queens. I don't think he was trying to rush for Hive, to be honest.
Okay, well, I guess Terran's not necessarily out of it just yet. The mutas are still alive, though, but now he doesn't necessarily have to worry about Sunkens at the natural. If there's a third base that goes up, he'll just have to irradiate the lurkers. Ooh, drone gets intercepted.
Race on 2 vessels. This is so strong against mutas. Now I'm a bit worried for Soulkey here, because if it's JYJ just like spend and keep making vessels, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, he committed a lot of gas to these queens and mutas. That's another great ensnare. It's like a heat seeker. He is going to get off a great, juicy Irradiate. Now the race can start dealing damage to these lurkers. I think he even has a second Irradiate pretty soon.
Yeah. He didn't kill that vessel. That is crazy.
Up another Ensnare, I mean. There he goes. Okay, he does pick off one of the race finally, but the muta count is now at only 8. There's still a lot of Irradiates available. Mid-right is still very exposed. And look at this, JYJ is reinforcing across the map at the same time. The Ensnare really does help with the cloak too. He's now lost a lot of race, so that's a big loss for JYJ, but he baits out the mutas and he gets another great Irradiate. Is that a lurker?
Is he going to get the tier base now, Nyoken?
Yeah, I think he is. There's no medics here though. There's no medics! Another great Irradiate! Third is gonna die! Look at Soulkey's money! This is such a weird position. He's floating so much cash, and all of a sudden, JYJ has 2 bases. Like, he has 2 gas. He's getting into the mass vessel play.
Yeah, JYJ actually made kind of like a really genius play in containing Soulkey for so long, to the point that he got 2 vessels and expanded, and now Soulkey is in so much trouble. He doesn't have gas to... Look at this, he's even losing the mutas. I think that's it for Soulkey, man, honestly.
This was amazing play from JYJ. When his first attack failed, and then the second attack got denied by the Ensnare, I thought that was it. But he's transitioned into a great state. He's got a good vessel count. Well, as I say that, he loses one. But the Defiler mount, like, just started, like, 30 seconds ago. These Hydras, they don't have range, they don't have speed. He does catch 2 vessels, that's a big loss. But they do have armor, I guess, which is good for him, but he has no money now. Look at JYJ, he's taking mid left.
Yeah, he's taking a new expansion as well. And I don't think Soulkey can do too much about it. You know what is really going for Soulkey is that at least JYJ is getting mine out in the main.
Yeah, that is true. And also, he just now got his, like, second gas, so he's not able to pump out, you know, 1 billion vessels just yet. Well, that's a great ensnare, but it is still high ground. The Marines are going to trade, well, worse than I thought, but overall, still okay. It's a 50 supply lead. That's the first Defiler. Now, that upgrade could come into play. We do see +2 armor for Zerg right now, but he's on the high ground.
Yeah, I didn't see a game like this in a long time, that Zerg is just like contain against Terran and can even expand.
Yeah, this is just such a tough situation, and we're going to start seeing tanks being pumped out. All JYJ has to do now is make sure that the Defiler does not get to his base. He's been so diligent all day long, making sure that he's able to irradiate the Defiler. Now, that's a big pickoff. He gets the science facility before the vessel count is huge, so he's going to have to rebuild that.
Yeah, remember JYJ also took a new expansion. I think it's working already. So this is terrible news for Soulkey.
Yeah, he's got to get out onto the map, get into this natural if he can. There's 5 vessels out so far, maybe 7 if he was able to get a cycle before the science facility died. Third base still not up and running. More irradiates going down, getting almost all the lurkers. Still hasn't caught the Defiler just yet, I don't think.
Yeah, Defiler. Oh my god, JYJ is going to the tier base from Soulkey.
Well, I don't know if he's going to do it like that. He does get the irradiate off onto the lurker. Defiler and Hydra's moving into position. Look at that, he scans because he knows that the only way back into this game is if Soulkey goes for a counterattack.
That is funny because if Soulkey actually managed to get the tier gas, the game is going to change a lot. He's going to be able to make more gas units, even like make more Defilers.
Yep, but he does lose the Defiler there. The vessels are just being such a nuisance here. He can even start irradiating Hydras if he wants. There's a tank here, so that means that Zerg can't just sit here forever. He's going to have to move down that ramp at some point.
Yeah, do you think there is plague? I didn't see any plague so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's plague or not. Oh, he gets the Defiler. And he may lose this tank, but he does get the critical Defiler and gets an Irradiate off onto the Lurker and irradiates one of the Hydras.
Yeah, but finally Soulkey getting that tier base now. Going to build his gas. And look at this, sneaking even a 4 expansion in bottom mid. I feel like we're going to start to see a different game now.
Yeah, with Soulkey stabilizing mid-right and the fact that JYJ still doesn't know about bottom middle. Okay, that could be the difference maker. Race run in. Oh, he's attacking at the same time. So he unloads and he unloads out of vision. Oh, actually he doesn't. There's a burrowed Ling there. He stims in. Oh, there's a Defiler, but there's not much defense. Oh, great plague. Holy smokes, that was an amazing plague. He's got another... Oh, he's breaching the third base at the same time. He drew all the units out of position. Is there enough to hold the third while dropping into the main? The answer is, I think maybe just barely. No, maybe not. The main's getting crushed.
He defended the tier base, but there are still units in the main. And there is a new dropship coming, I think.
Yeah, there is another dropship, like you said, that gets... He can't lose that. He cannot lose that dropship. He has to unload that. Oh, no. He didn't unload any medics. Supplies have plummeted for JYJ. He is gas starved now.
He loses vessels, he loses dropships, he loses most of his army. And on top of that, he doesn't know that Soulkey sneak a 4 expansion as well.
This is such a heartbreaking way to lose the game if you're JYJ. If he loses here, oh man, he's going to be kicking himself. Bottom middle, I don't know if a scan just went off, but I heard multiple scans go somewhere. He is finally going to take bottom left. He still has a sizable army, but losing those vessels was a huge loss, obviously.
There is no actually Defiler in the tier base from Soulkey, so maybe he can actually punish this position.
Yeah, and those Hydras are at bottom middle, so they're not actually with the army right now. So they're way out of position. JYG still hasn't taken a base at bottom left. Tank is going to eliminate that Lurker. There is still one Lurker on the high ground. Not that many vessels though, just 4. He gets a good irradiate off.
JYJ is abusing irradiate right now.
Another irradiate, but he didn't get the Defiler. Also, something to think about is the fact that Soulkey killed the drops means that he doesn't have to worry about the dropship coming in for round 2 now. So this is going to be another great hold. In JYJ, he desperately needs to find bottom middle. He had such an amazing comeback, but he's slowly letting it fade away.
Yeah, because playing the game thinking that your opponent is on three gases compared to 4 gases is a big deal.
Okay, he's doing a good job here, just pressuring the third base over and over. He's got fire bats mixed in. He does have tanks at this entrance. Now he should be skeptical. Dude, you have a Nidus, but what are you Nidusing to? I've scanned mid-right a billion times. There's no Nidus there. One of the Lurkers does not get irradiated, so this is going to be pushed back again. Those are plague vessels, so he's going to be very careful.
Still a lot of minerals floating for JYJ right now. I asked myself if he's being supply blocked because that population, man.
So many kills on that one Lurker. He still doesn't recognize that, hey, there's a Nidus here, but what's it connecting?
Well, Nyoken, maybe he just like thinking that Soulkey forgot to complete the Nidus.
It could be the case, and also as the observer's pointing out here, is there's no armor upgrades on this bio, so he's way behind in that sense. He is up in damage versus the armor at least. More attacks towards...
It's putting so much pressure into Soulkey's natural.
Yeah, he's putting on a lot of pressure. He just desperately needs to find bottom middle. Like, he could get a couple of Lurker kills there for free. Finally, he's going to find it, and he is going to be so upset that this is up and running. Look at that.
Yeah, but he knows he's not going for it, and Soulkey is going to clean this pressure on the front. And you know what, Soulkey, I'm curious why he's not, well, honestly he's being under pressure, but he can use the Nidus to attack bottom bases from Terran.
Yeah, he can also do that for sure. And he knows bottom left exists because he had either a Ling or a drone or something at bottom left scouting that out. Oh, we got an engagement here. Really good movement from JYJ to save the majority of his army.
Yeah. I asked myself if JYJ is a bit nervous now that he discovered the 4 gas for Soulkey.
Oh yeah, for sure he's nervous. 100% he is. His units, yes, they have damage, but they don't have any armor. Terran's still in an okay position because he still technically has 3 bases running. He's very diligent with his vessels. Oh man, does he realize that there are lurkers there? He must.
But there is the fighter as well.
Well, there's still supply lead for JYJ, but 35 supply lead is not huge. He does have a lot of vessels, though. It's something like 10 vessels. Those are just half of them right there. But Soulkey now, like you said, can counterattack bottom left while also attacking the center of the map. And that's a great plague, and that may just open up the flood at bottom middle. Oh, Hydra's intercept. Good irradiates. I think there's double bunker bottom left, but I don't think there's actually any units. Okay, there's just a single bunker, but JYJ needs to get some more units over here, man, at bottom left, because if he gets counterattacked by even like 2 lurkers and a single defiler, that's going to deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think for Soulkey, he needs to use more plague and get this vessel because it's getting out of control, to be honest. Look at this 5 lurkers irradiate, or 3 lurkers, it's just like so crazy.
Yeah, he really is struggling with the vessels. Like, it is still 8 or 10. He's gotten good plagues off, but he hasn't really killed that many vessels. Okay, he still doesn't kill a vessel there. He gets off another irradiate, so another lurker is going to die. He's just lost so many lurkers, but Zerg is finally getting out onto the map. There's just a random vessel here, which will irradiate that defiler, and that will mean that this push is denied also. A drop into the third. He's able to avoid the army, and he can shut down this base.
Sadly, there are not that many marines in that dropship. But he's attacking now the 4th base from Soulkey.
I would like to get a count of how many kills these vessels have gotten. It feels like I just hear a radiate going off literally non-stop this game. I haven't seen that many Scourge. Oh, he drew the units out of position. But remember, there's no upgrades for the army or for the armor on the Marines. He just runs in there, bulldozes it, loses his entire Marine ball, but it's still fine because he still irradiated so many units.
Yeah, he's a starving Soulkey, man. He's starving Soulkey with that many irradiates. Soulkey need to do something about this.
Yep, there's like a pincer attack at the top side, a back counterattack from JYJ, which looks like it did actually kill a sizable amount of units. He's killing a lot of Hydras, in fact. Oh, Vessel gets the last lurker at bottom middle.
Yeah. Soulkey need to expand, by the way. He's right now on 2 bases only. He really need a new base for himself.
These random vessels just in the center of the map are saving JYJ so badly. He's picked off like 4 defilers or something as they move across the center. There's so many moments where I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is it. This is going to be Soulkey finally getting to the natural. But not the case. However, Hydras finally get a good interception on the vessels. There's only 6 remaining, now 5.
This army is not so big. I think Soulkey can kill this with only Hydras.
Yep, but if he can get onto the high ground, he may be able to save the army. Okay, well, this army's stuck now, and he is going to lose 3 vessels there. So he's now down to 2. He will hold the high ground, but picking off those vessels was definitely key. I wonder how many vessels JYJ has left, because every time we see his rally point, I don't see that many. Oh, more vessels are going to die!
He's losing so many vessels now, giving almost map control to Soulkey. And if Soulkey is able to take these bottom bases, again, we are going to have new life to this game.
Yep, Hydra's engaging the Marines. There's no medics, so the Hydras do trade decently. The vessel does die again, though. The lurker did get irradiated. Oh my gosh, huge hits!
But you know what, Nyoken? JYJ is doing a good job spending. Look at this, the bottom base he already has a factory. He can build tanks. It's not going to be so easy for Soulkey to attack any expansions.
Oh yeah.
I think his focus has to be now on spending, and he's not doing that.
Yeah, he has to get bottom right. Like you said, I don't think bottom left can get breached anymore unless he literally Niduses his entire army over there. There's not that many tanks at bottom left, but there is a bunker which buys time. I think there's 2 tanks. The vessels need to get over here though. Well, maybe not. There's no lurkers. Oh, God, just endless irradiates. Remember, he just lost like 7 vessels a minute ago, and he has 7 more.
Yeah, I feel like Soulkey really need to spend. Like now, he can't wait anymore.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where the 3rd base is going to be mined out for him. The vessels are just so ridiculous this game. Even though they're getting picked off by the Hydras, he can't keep up with this vessel count. Like, there's been like 30 vessels built this entire game. Now we finally see a huge supply lead for JYJ. It's 170 to just 90.
No, he's not doing anything in that base either. Soulkey not spending is what really worries me the most, because if he get to the point that he's only on 1 base, that's gonna be it for him.
Yep, I think JYJ has pretty much done it. He knows that he doesn't have to kill the army anymore. He can just irradiate you to death and make you run out of money. He's still got that army at bottom right, just holding the ramp, denying a 4th or 5th base, I mean. He's got vision at the top side of the map. So he knows that this is literally the only 2 bases that Zerg has, and mid-right's going to be mining out any moment now.
Yeah, finally Soulkey cleaning this bottom.
Maybe. Okay, there we go. There's a great plague. And he's just going to flank from the back like he's done all series long, picking up the Defiler. And he doesn't even get through the medics at the top, at the bottom right.
Oh, no units now in the forest base. It's almost exposed.
Yeah, it is exposed. But again, he doesn't even have to attack there. He can just make sure bottom right never gets taken. Now that's a lot of vessels to lose again, but he probably has like 8 more built.
Starting Soulkey just cleaned this place, and now JYJ is replacing it with more units.
Oh my gosh, this is top-notch bioplay if I've ever seen it. The Marines have done such a good job to kill Defilers. The vessels have been fantastic, obviously. Oh man, what do you do as Soulkey at this point? You can't do anything.
You need to spend. That's it. That's about it. He needs to spend, and he's not able to do it. Like, resources are not infinite for him. He needs to spend.
Oh my gosh, this small army just can never get taken down. And there's just reinforcements nonstop. The left side, the bottom right side, vessel count, massive. I think we are 30 seconds away from seeing the GG.
Yeah, I think so too, Nyoken. Oh, well, actually.
Well, Defiler and Lurker on the high ground, so maybe not, but finally, for the first time all game, these Marines actually get onto the high ground, sort of. Vessels are radiating everything again. Still 150 supply to just 80. That's still a massive army right there. A single Lurker actually looks like it cleaned up the majority of the army at bottom right. But Soulkey's running out of money. He's at 200 minerals, just 300 gas.
You know what, Nyoken? Now thinking about this, even if Soulkey double spends, it will be hard for him to actually to fight here this turn.
Yeah. Well, there's too many tanks there, so that can't be broken anymore. So many vessels. Even one more coming in the back. He's going to irradiate these Lurkers, irradiate that Defiler, or that Hydralisk. Bottom right still has not been taken. Soulkey, okay, there's Marines here, so I guess that base is technically not taken just yet.
So a medic blocking the expansion?
Yeah. Is there a medic in that army? Okay, there's a great plague. Hits the entire vessel ball.
Well, that is dangerous actually for JYJ. Yeah. He doesn't really want to lose that many vessels again.
Oh yeah, he can't keep doing that, that's for sure. The Dark Swarm does come in, and for now, that bottom right position has been stabilized. Mid-right, I don't think he needs to attack mid-right. That base is basically mined out. Oh, he catches a Lurker. Goodbye. Oh, is there any defense there? Well, these two lurkers are still
Not
sitting
really
there.
sure, Nyoken. I think it's exposed.
I think it's exposed. Also, the Marines do get into position. Lurker does fall. There's no Defiler here. Nidus is gonna fall. Is this it?
I think with the Nidus falling like that, I think this is it, Nyoken.
JYJ, he sat back in his chair. He knows he's done it. He's breached bottom middle. Mid right is basically mined out. There's nothing left for Soulkey, really.
Yeah. No eco at all. That's it. That's it. That's game.
Holy smokes. What a crazy game to end on. The 2-port Wraith didn't work out with the bus. Transitions into an expansion. Gets crippling amounts of damage with the initial vessels, and then of course the vessels all game long get crippling damage. He limits the bases that Soulkey could take. Soulkey sneaks a base, and it's still not enough.
GG. This guy making semifinals for the first time. Jesus. And what a game. I honestly thought he was so dead. And somehow that strategy paid off. He contained Soulkey for so long that eventually he got 2 vessels to spend, and Soulkey was just like contained for minutes and minutes and minutes to the point that it was too late for him.
Yeah, I agree. I also thought that once the Wraith and the Marines got shut down, that was it. That there's no follow-up. So many Terrans just commit to that all-in by cutting a lot of SCVs. But JYJ, he transitioned perfectly. Even though he lost vessels, he irradiated the key units all game long. He kept putting Zerg in an awkward position with his constant Marine movement. It was absolutely fantastic, and he deserved to win today because he played out of his mind.
Yeah, I think he played good, and I think both players honestly deserve to advance. I don't think Soulkey played bad at all. I think Soulkey played a great series. But in the end, it's only one that can advance, right? And I think the most important here for JYJ, in my opinion, is that he was able to really bring a different build order on each map.
Yeah, literally every single game was a different build order. And this time, even though he opened with the Wraith, he still committed to the bio, the tried and true build that got him so many wins this season. And he just looks so unstoppable in Terran versus Zerg. Like, the only games he lost was, the Goliath Marine Medic builds, right? Like, he tried to do it on Dark Origin. It got scouted, so he tried to transition out of it. And he also only lost with that on Heartbreak Ridge. So, I mean, it seems like if he can just get into a normal Science Vessel play, this guy is just a killer in TVZ.
Honestly, it's not a normal Science Vessel play. Like,
yeah, that's true.
The way the game starts matters a lot. It's not like, oh yeah, he played bio and won the game. No, there is like a long train of sequence to get to that point.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just absolutely crazy that he
even on game 1 that he actually he got to this stage of building a great number of vessels that it was so impossible for Soulkey to make progress.
Well, where do you think it went wrong for Soulkey? Do you think the ensnare was too big of a commitment? Was it too many sunkens? Like, what do you think did him in?
Honestly, it was looking really well, but then if you remember, he invested on a snare, but then he failed the first one, like that. He cast it and didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And then from that point, JYJ sniped the spore and killed the tier hatchery. I feel like that actually slowed down Soulkey a bit.
Yeah, I forgot about the third hatchery getting sniped. That's a lot of larvae to lose for, a very long time. Like, he didn't put a macro hatch in his main until several
JYJ
minutes
did
later.
such a great job with the sniping, with the grace, with the micro. Like, Soulkey wasn't able to engage at all with the grace. Like, he tried and he just get punished for it. And to the point that Soulkey made lurkers and he actually lost the lurkers to grace.
Yeah, that is true. Every time the mutas came in, they were dying, whereas the Wraiths were almost taking no damage. JYJ was really abusing that short range advantage that the Wraiths have over the mutas.
Well, another season Soulkey is not going to make it to the finals.
I know, and that's sad, right? Because he is such a contender to go really far, but always comes up short. I mean, he had great games. Like you said, both players deserve to win today, but only one can win. And JYJ, you know, he only had to practice TVZ for this match, and now he only has to practice TVZ again. So he's going to be probably feeling really good about that. He's going to have solid practice and be really warmed up for Hero in the next week.
Yeah, honestly, after seeing this against a Cerberus Terran specialist, I feel sorry for Hero.
Yeah, I agree. This guy, I don't know what it is. His vessel control is next level. I don't think I've ever seen somebody pick apart this Hydra Lurker Defiler play as well as JYJ has been doing.
I will press more attention to the early game, to be honest, in these games, because this is what really mattered the most, in my opinion, with him, is that he put himself in the early game in really good spots. If you think about first game, he held the all-in from Soulkey with the Muta, Link, Lurker push, and that was like key moment that he survived that. The game on Sealfeed, he bunker rushed the tier base from Soulkey, made him forced to make a lot of Zerlings and totally destroy the eco from the early game. And in this tier 1, he just starved Soulkey so much for minutes, like he contained him so much to the point that taking that tear gas was so late that he was already making 2 expansions, not 1 but 2 expansions.
Yeah. Unlike other Terrans, JYJ doesn't commit to like 7 racks on 2 bases. He did a good job to take bases for himself and just match the econ of Zerg. And like you said, I agree, the early game is what really shines through with JYJ. He just gets himself into a great position, and then also he reinforces constantly. Like every single time we see an engagement somewhere, he's also reinforcing another position or moving into another spot to prevent like these counterattacks that Soulkey kept going for.
Yeah, and there are a lot of good in this guy. Remember, this is almost like a Rocky, so he showed a lot of mental strength in this series. He showed a lot of good micro all over the game. Decision making was also really on point. Yeah, I think overall, like, he has like really strong points, and something I maybe don't like too much is that he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy that knows how to end games, but it's more like a guy that plays with advantage.
Okay, I don't know. The games did go long in Terran versus Zerg, but it could just be the nature of it, where Dark Swarm is just so crazy for defense. I mean, he tried to end it with the drops, right? Like, the drops was a good idea, but he wasn't able to actually get enough DPS to close it out with that drop at top right, at the main.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't know how to finish the games, but the way the series developed, it was more like Soulkey doing a final attack and typing out.
Yeah.
But and then the last game just like started to get all the mina from the map. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really solid Terran. To be honest, it's a really solid Terran. I hope he can go very far. I think against Hero, he's going to look even stronger.
Yeah, so far from what I've seen, the TVZ is top notch. And as you stated yesterday, Hero's known for his Zerg versus Zerg and Zerg versus Protoss. So it's going to be definitely a hard opponent for Hero there if he wants to get through JYJ and then make it into the finals. But we have opportunity now where we could get our favorite matchup in the finals. We could have TVT if mine makes it through and JYJ makes it through.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think honestly I favor best against mine, but that would be crazy after all these that we get in a TVT final.
Yeah, the Terrans, they had like 12 representatives in ASL initially. Then all of a sudden they were down to 2 in the round of 8. There were so many Zergs, and now there's only 1 Zerg remaining in the round of 4. And the only reason, well, potentially the only reason the Zerg is there is because it was just a ZVZ. Like, the remaining other races have really been crushing in the round of 8.
Yeah. At some point, everyone was so afraid, oh, we are going to see only servers to serves.
Yeah. I thought so, man. Like, you have literally almost every single Zerg superstar in the round of 8. Except Soma. Like, that's the only guy missing, right? Like, I can't imagine 4 of those 5 Zergs losing. Like, that just seemed incomprehensible to me, but they all lost.
Yeah, man. So far, it's been such a competitive season. Like, anyone lose to anyone. I honestly don't know who's going to win this ASL anymore. I think, like, I mean, at this point, can Best win this? Can Mai win this? Can JYJ win this? Can Hero win this? Honestly, I don't know.
Yep, I also don't know, but JYJ, he's definitely really shot up on my radar now, I can tell you that. You know, I was really looking at Royal and Rush to be top tier Terrans behind Light, but I have obviously underestimated JYJ. We're looking at how the results went. It went win for JYJ, win for Soulkey, alternating wins, and then finally in the final game, JYJ reigns supreme, which is on probably what was game of the day, I think. I mean, that was just a wild game.
Yeah, not as the normal game you will see. I mean, the guy actually prepared a lot, Nyoken. Like he actually like present to us a singular build order for each map. That is really difficult.
That is, and you know, when I saw the race and I saw how it was getting denied, I was like, no, I was getting so sad because I was like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, you have played so well just playing a normal, like 3 racks, 4 racks, you know, getting out onto the map, putting a lot of pressure. And then it's this, then you put your last life on this play that's not working out. I was getting so sad, but then he turned it around in an epic fashion. So I am happy that he was able to show a good game in Game 5. And we're getting a look at our round of 4 matchups. As we stated, it's Best versus Mind in the top side. Mind has been quite impressive, taking down a lot of good players. Best, he was so close to being eliminated, but he had the games of his life versus Action. And then Hero taking down Jaedong yesterday, and JYJ playing absolutely crazy today. And there they are. And our next match is going to be next Monday. And then our second match is going to be Tuesday. So it's going to be same time this time around. The schedule's not getting switched up again.
Yeah, I don't know if we are going to have a tier place match or when it is either.
Yeah, I think weirdly, usually ASL does a 3rd place match like the day before the finals, if I remember correctly, and it's also best of, or it used to be best of 5. I'd have to check this time.
That would be insane if they made that the like a Thursday. That would be insane.
I'm looking now. I don't actually see a 3rd and 4th place match, so maybe it's not actually happening this season. Regardless, though, something that we didn't mention is in the semifinals, we're actually going to have best of 7 instead of best of 5. So
yeah, best of 7, more maps, more games, more preparation, more stamina to test.
Yep, no more dodges of the map pool. You can't dodge Nemesis. You can't dodge 76, like what Soulkey and JYJ did right here. Also, we didn't see Nemesis or Oh, well, I guess we didn't see a Terran, but I don't think we had Nemesis or 76 in the map pool yesterday with Jaedong and Hero either. Or maybe we had Nemesis, but not
I think
76.
we have Nemesis.
Yeah.
I think we have Nemesis. The problem it was a 3-0.
Yeah, that's true.
But man, what a season, man! What a season! Talk about the skill. Like sometimes, like we're so lucky to actually like see a season like this in ASL. I promise to you, I have seen seasons that the games are boring, like boring, with these maps that you can even play that well. But this season, they have like a great mix of good maps and this 76 added to the mix that brings some bangers or, as well. And the skill like is really so equal that anyone can eliminate anyone. It's been an insane season.
I agree. I think ever since I started doing ASL, this is easily the best season. Like you said, the games are amazing. The maps are great. I would have never guessed this Final Four ever. Like, all the stars have been taken down, but we still have a lot of great players remaining, and it will be a new champion this time too. Every single player that remains has never won a Star League. Just absolutely epic ASL so far. And right now we are just waiting to get Caster Park's signal that the cast is over. And it looks like we're getting that just now. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next week with a TVP and then a TVZ. Best versus Mind and Hero versus JYJ.
Bye bye.